Catch catches it. He's not letting that happen. Not one bit. For Mad Bulls, that drops us down to a 3 versus 3, which is infinitely easier to handle. That is a long lob on the net. Oh my goodness me. What a barker.
You can see his player cam. He smiled after that one, hitting a nice little headshot. Duo almost runs right into the nade, though. Catch on the drive up, hits the headshot, and now it's just Tulika all by himself.
Tulika on the sidelines. Catch this. As Catch will find himself an unreal finish. Some insane bravado towards the end there. Coming through from Ulf. They didn't want to play that one out slow. They just wanted to go. And they find an incredible win over at the start of the day. That's going to push them up by quite a bit, guys, as well. I think we got to take into consideration a little bit of that. For Alpha 7, I don't think they got enough points there to make sure that they got over towards match point, but who knows? I was kind of focusing on a lot of other things happening in that lobby. With D+, get a few points on board. They're pushing things up. Mad Bulls not able to make that push. I feel like Mad Bulls had some decent rotations during the majority of that. Unfortunately, it does just all go to pot in the end with kind of an aggressive push from, I mean, no less than Pusher on their squad. But yeah, I think that did look infinitely better for Mad Bulls than recently. Let's take a look at what the desk has to say about that last match.
And what a match that was. Look at this last fight here with Ulf and Mad Bulls. I saw you pop it off here, Max.
Oh, yeah, Mad Bulls. What a game. Hey, by the way, welcome back to the desk.
Oh, yeah,
Just back with the boys over here. No, what a game from Mad Bulls. And there was one pivotal play here that I know that Me7 were talking about that allowed them to get in a game-winning position for Mad Bulls. It was to make sure they coexist with D+ Kia. But all of that, anyways, does not work out because Ulf are the true kings of Rondo here, going into PMGC Grand Finals, back-to-back win. Yesterday was just one player, Scarface, making it happen, and here it's a full squad effort to secure that chicken dinner.
And talk about teams maybe targeting Alpha 7 there as and boy, in that top 4, it looked more like a 3 versus 1. Everybody was just keeping their eyes on Revo and what they were going to be able to do for Alpha 7. A completely different pace of game style here as we're looking at the stats from Ulf. Congratulations, Ulf. That's back-to-back now with even more eliminations this round, actually being able to double the amount of eliminations that they got in the last one. But going back to what I wanted to say with Alpha 7, we didn't get a hot drop between them and Team Flash in Hey My Town. Team Flash actually decided to back off, which gave Alpha 7 even more time to play it slow. And we saw them playing slow, trying to find their way into the circle, Max.
I actually think it's a really good game plan for Flash to not hot drop it because, yeah, you lose 3, maybe full squad. If you go for a full commit hot drop, you're giving half the points pretty much that Alpha 7 need to get in the smash zone. So very happy for them to give that one up. Though, some other hot drops were happening all over the place. We had here, for example, Kara versus R8. And again, Omori. The clutches later on in the mid-game were just mental with the nades. They especially cooked right around the corner. Beautiful execution. I'm telling you, Omori, again, still top player currently for the MENA region.
Max, you were absolutely right. Because
wait, say that again?
Omori. Max, you were almost wrong. Amori just kept playing and popping off for the squad, making sure that he ended up clutching up. One thing that I do want to mention, a completely different player, one of my favorite players this PMGC, none other than QXZZC from DRX. The way that player was able to just clutch up for the squad, go by himself, and make sure he had to drive between a lot of squads just to go for the recall.
It was like 4 or 5 teams, and he was able to barely make it out, go outside of the circle, out in the blue, go for the recall, gets the 14 back up and tried to push back in. And then Xavier, the one time, they're like, how about we start playing aggressive? They go after DRX, the nades and that dip were just so easy to pull off. Not saying that it was not a bad play from Xavier. They was definitely well executed and aggressive at the right time to try and clear some space on the edge. But DRX, if you're on a bad dip like that, maybe it's just best to leave the dip, go on the offensive against Xavier so you don't just get naded into oblivion.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the match ranking. 24 points, Mad Bulls with 14, D+. Hey, starting off the day here with a nice 14 bomb 7.
One thing that I'm seeing here, those teams at the top, they're not in this first page of the match ranking. So that means that Alpha 7 was not able to do enough to get in that smash zone. We're going to have to play another match and see if they can get enough points. And as well, Here you go. You got
Ooh.
APG, just 3 points. DRX, just 2 points. Regnum, 0. These are squads that were wanting to hunt down Alpha 7, and Alpha 7 ends up gaining even more points on them, Max.
It's actually kind of mad because you're looking at Ulf, right, that was still in a really good position, and the fact they get themselves such a big chicken dinner here actually allows them to jump up significantly. They were currently in, that was going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th position right now. And because all the teams you already stated here, 7 got taken out of the equation so early on this Rondo match, guess what? Catch-up opportunity for Ulf is on the table right now, and Ketch also going to be your game MVP, 5 eliminations. To be completely honest, I was very critical about Fireflux. They kind of fell off 2 years ago. The resurgence, it's happening. Soulless, we're seeing the guys, Ketch popping off. It feels like good old 2023 PUBG Mobile Esports here in Turkey.
You could have had a better start, honestly, if you're Ulf in this situation. You had so many top squads go out. Yeah, Alpha 7, oh my goodness! Second place! 7.
A squad that was able to start the day in 5th place jumps up all the way to 2nd place. Alpha 7 just 5 points away from the match point. And look at the chicken dinners. Ulf, if for some reason we don't end up going via the smash rule, right now Ulf is able to edge out Alpha 7 in regards to chicken dinners, Max.
Oh, that could be so impactful. Though Regnum Karya slipping down 5th position, taking the position of their old Turkish teammates here of Ulf. Quite unfortunate for them. And as I said earlier, right, Salas told me they wanted to play a bit more aggressive. Well, it didn't work out. Unfortunately for them, they tried to go for Hail Mary send in the center of the circle. In an open position like that, you need setup to maybe create some dips with grenades, C4, maybe put down some cover flares. In this case, it didn't work out, and the team got squad wiped in the matter of like 10 to 15 seconds. It was instant.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy part, too, looking at those leaderboards, 7, is you look at D+. They move themselves up more. If they win this next Erangel with a crazy amount of eliminations, they could be in the show here.
It's going to be a tough one, if I'm being completely honest. I'm going to have to be a realist here for D+. Yeah, they will not only have to win this match, they would have to make sure they win back-to-back in Erangel to even have a chance. And I hope that Alpha 7 doesn't end up getting those 5 points that they need at match point and stop them from getting the win. So, yeah, a lot of stuff is going to be out there for this squads. But I see what you're saying. You're there with me in regards to you want to see possibly a back-to-back champion like what we saw in the past with Nova Esports. But for that squad, I mean, D+ playing like they got nothing to lose. Let's see if they can actually perform in this next match and get the win.
I mean, I like the way D+ played it. They had a 2-2 split, then a 3-1 split, keeping chips in the city while the 3 players were holding onto the high ground position with Alter Ego, and then they go for the full-on clash. Actually, I liked it. At the same time, didn't like it. I think he did hold the angle a little bit too long, but I think you mentioned it right, 7. It was to make sure you can clear the ridge so they don't get fully pushed over by Alter Ego. But then when they have the fight with Alter Ego, eliminate that team, and Mad Bulls push up. They both understand we work together, solidify the position, eliminate Revo that's playing hide and seek on the edge of the map, and then we can easily both make it into a podium position on that Rondo game.
And that was one of those things for Alter Ego. You kind of feel bad, right? Because it's such a good position that more people are going to want it as well, that you're going to have them crashing onto you. D+, as you just mentioned, Max, wanted to be there close to them. Another squad that just kept peppering them, Mad Bulls from far away, and they just couldn't really focus on one fight because that terrain too. I don't really remember what kind of utility that team was working with. But for Alter Ego, I mean, it's going to be tough here for some of these squads, boys, especially if we don't get a good performance out of them in the next match, and especially if Alpha 7 continues to just get closer and closer to that smash point.
Yeah. Just to finish on the teams like Alter Ego, the Mad Bulls, the D+ Kia. So many cover flares, right, on that hilltop.
Yes.
Really good usage. Blocking off-angle positions, maybe from like Ulf, even the side of, I think, Alpha 7 earlier on in this game. So the cover flares, I love seeing how they're being used in an even more efficient manner every single match. But anyways, we don't have any more cover flares for the rest of the day because we have no more rondos. So that's done.
That's it. Just like that. And it was so crazy, hearing Blank talk about Regnum Karya not being a rondo team. It's officially true, right? With this one, 0 points, no more rondos left. Regnum Karya are going to have to make it happen in Erangel, Max.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are looking like a good team. They drop center. They drop Rozok when it comes to Erangel, which is, rotationally speaking, just like Xavier, very good because you're dead center of the map. And if there's any map they're going to do well for me, it has to be that one. They don't strike me as an amazing Miramar team, unfortunately, for Regnum Karya. So you better make them count. 3 matches. And then I think Regnum Karya are going to have a really hard time to make that climb towards the top.
Yeah, for Regnum Karya, I mean, I felt like they tried to do a little bit too much with zero scouting for that squad. They tried to split 4 teams in the previous round, it wasn't gonna end up happening, especially when you try to send it towards the center of the circle too. I would have loved to see Regnum Karya play a bit more of that edge and see what you could do with the amazing fragging power that this squad has been able to showcase, but that wasn't the case. Now we switch focus over to Erangel. Just 5 points for Alpha 7. Can they do it? I personally believe they can. I'm just hoping they become a little bit more aggressive. You're not going for the win on this one, Alpha 7. Definitely get as many points as you want and as you can. But remember, you just need 5 points. So in that third match, you can end it via smash.
Well, we're seeing adaptations in the lobby here, right? We saw Vampire all the way at the bottom. They got nothing to lose, pushing everybody, which we like to see, right? Because why not at this point? And then not to mention, you know, when the team saw that Alpha 7 were there was not a single shot rang out on anybody. It was just all eyes locked on them.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me of the Sertani pep talk we had back in the PMGC finals back in Jakarta in Indonesia. And he had with his team one of the biggest comebacks on that day 3 despite a really poor performance until then. Is that going to allow them to get in the middle pack? Winning is out of the question anyways for Vampire, right? But you know what? Maybe a middle pack position, extra prize pool that, again, could win a big portion of that $3 million prize pool in PMGC. Hey, a big push up in that last day is still a very nice thing to see from Vampire if they can keep it going.
Well, guys, let's get going into the first Erangel of the day. Alpha 7 only need 5 more points to reach that smash zone. Will they get it? We are about to find out as we take it on over to our casters, Blake and me.
Well, thank you very much, Jukes. And I'll see you in approximately 5 seconds, indeed, as we head over towards Erangel now, our second match of the day. No smash ruling in effect just yet. Just yet. Not yet.
Not yet, indeed, but it could happen right here, right now. 5 points, honestly, shouldn't be a real sweat for Alpha 7 to get here, but they are playing a little bit differently, right? We heard 7, he was talking about how Alpha 7 kind of went full passive mode, which we get.
Hey,
right?
Yeah. It's not them though, is it? It's not them.
No. And that's the thing is that when you adapt your playstyle here at such a big stage, man, you can get in your head so easily, second guess yourself on pushes, and that little hesitation at this high level, I mean, that could make or break you.
For Alpha 7, I mean, they're a team that loves to just play their own game, right? They want to take that position in the circle. They're going to go for it. I don't think they really suit that passive play style. I think once you hit that, I think you just got to play, get out of your head right now.
Yeah.
Once you're on that match point, sure, you got time. You do absolutely have a little bit of time to work with. We're going down from the southwest over towards the northeast. Yaz is in play. We're going to straight back down towards the southwest on this one. So it's going to be a little bit of a late drop for teams over on that northeast side and a late rotate down. But for squads getting out early like Vampire, oh God, it's Vampire who's out early, isn't it? Okay, so they're going to get looted and start getting shooting over towards some of our other squads. That's rough. It's rough at best.
See Alpha 7, you know, not going to their North George drop. It was a little bit too far from the plane path, so they go on that east side. You can see them looking to possibly even wrap into Naya here, try to get some loot, and then head on into this next circle. DRX, dead center in the zone. D Xavier as well. One thing that's so crazy to me, though, playing. Oh, wait. Prison?
I don't get this.
Prison?
Yeah, I'm also confused. And it had to be Rosemary, right? It had to be Rosemary.
Always. Oh, Rosemary always getting caught in crazy situations. Man, Alter Ego is that one team that I look at, and it's so hard for me to get a good grasp on them because they have these crazy pop-off performances from single players, great opportunities, but then you just see these weird tiny mistakes that just make them fall apart.
It's funny because, you know, we've been talking about this on the cast quite a bit, where for Alter Ego, they're a team that is fantastic, so much potential, but like you say, they're clumsy. They're kind of like, they're a bit of a Velma.
That's kind of a good way to put it. You know,
they're a bit of a Velma team.
You know, it's like somebody lost their glasses, or there's some kind of communication issue or something that's causing it.
I've tripped.
Yeah, I've tripped, I fell, or like, oh, hey, oh, wait. I fell in Alpha 7. Was that, oh my gosh, the turn. Oh, he has no. He has a pistol. Rebel with a pistol. Can he do it?
No
He
way.
can't! And that's Alpha 7 down 2 off the rip.
There's no way you whip out the Mini 14.
The swap.
Yo, it makes no sense. Max looks so surprised. You got the Uzi in your hand. That's not the close range weapon, dude. The Mini 14 is not the close range weapon. Literally doing tricks.
I'll tell you one thing, right? Alpha 7 may have the fact that they have Alpha in their name, right? But with those players down, they ain't saving them. Unlike when it comes to Doc, you know?
That's true. Yeah, for Alpha Gaming, they would have absolutely just sent it towards that
save
gas station. But yeah, we ain't sending it now. Amori with the highest C-limbs in the lobby. Followed close behind by Loxy, actually. You know, I think Loxy has had a step up of the year. I think he always in the past was very, very good for Regnum Kaya, and you'd always rely on him to be like the fragger of the team. But I think this year he's just set himself so far apart from the rest of the squad. No, that's a bad thing. I think the rest of the squad is very, very good. It's okay to have a superstar on your team. And again, they all provide different qualities, which is something quite rare in squads, honestly.
Yeah.
Where you get a player like Wild, who is your de facto survivor in the team. You got Silas, who scouts. You got Zed Wolf, who's the off angler, and then you got Loxy just on these really, really good clutch moments and just being that central pusher on the squad. So cool, honestly. And I don't think that roster is going to be splitting or changing around for quite a while. You can quote me on that.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Yeah,
They should.
They should. They should clip me on that.
Yeah, no, clip you on that, but they shouldn't change rosters.
They should. They should. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm waiting for the time when they do change the rosters, and it's my voiceover, which will be completely deserved, by the way.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what. There's been some superstar players that we've seen here in this PMGC, and the one thing that's the hardest thing to teach is clutch. You can only get it with experience, more reps at such a big stage. And, Amori has proven himself, right? That, hey, you know what? When the lights are on, the crowd is roaring, I can hit the crazy shots.
He was born in the clutch, man. 100%. That's where he thrives. That's where he lives now, too.
That's right. Let's see what Doc could do, though. Alpha Gaming on the move when it comes to Ulf. This is starting to get a little bit scary here, because it's shockingly close with how crazy all these squads are.
Yeah.
Almost anybody could put up a 20-point game, right?
Seven was talking about this on the desk, actually.
Yeah.
With Inner Circle and Gen G. I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about with Gen G and APG, Inner Circle. And then he kind of like lost his point a little bit. And then,
brought it back.
Memory kicked back in again. And he's like, wait, that's what APG and that's what I'm talking about. But he was right. He was right.
Yeah.
In his own delirious way.
Hey, take that all day long. Also take that Polar Party Mini 14. You guys saw it there. Get in the game and get it as soon as you can. As we're looking at Ulf, feeling good, man, after that game one. 106 points in total. They are definitely positioned to be a huge threat to Alpha 7 now that they're only down to 2 players. But what are those last 2 players are going to do? Because you see Carrillo, he's already on the western side of Gatka, or actually North Quarry. Putting himself in a good spot. I think it's hide and seek for Alpha 7 this game.
I think it's hide and seek as well. 5 points, it's not a crazy amount to put up. As 2 players on a wrangle, it feels a little bit improbable. But it's not out of the world of possibilities for that squad. And I think between Carrillo as well as Obscure, they got this. It's just you can't really be going down to Flash like that. That's a rough one over in gas station.
Oh man, they didn't see that coming. That's for sure.
They were so undiluted as well by the time they got there. I think that was the most stressful part for them because they had made that straight shot from northeast's Naya. I thought that they would. I thought they'd wrap over towards North George, honestly.
I mean, it made
but they
sense.
didn't go for it.
And
I think they're playing scared.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It really does. It looks like they're in their heads big time here. I mean, you got Rebel with a pistol going up against an Uzi and a Mini.
But the Mini was the main problem.
The Mini was the big threat. That's for sure.
My Uzi may be small, but my Mini is smaller and deadlier.
That's right. Mighty. That's how you do it. Mad Bull's taking this spot. This is one of my favorite locations when it comes to these zones in Erangel. if you take these buildings, you have such a huge lay of the land when it comes to the south side. It's very difficult to push on. So I like the fact that Mad Bulls are taking the spot early.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Honestly, I've seen multiple times on the kind of circles where they go north on this one, which I'm hoping it is now because that will prove my point in a second. Please. No, never mind. We won't talk about Everest anymore, I guess.
Yep. No, it's not as good.
Well, yeah, we're heading back down towards the swamps, though, which is kind of annoying for Alpha 7 because I think Brazilian teams typically actually play quarry swamps really well, multiple times. And I think that it is frustrating for Alpha 7 now not having all 4 players because this could have been a really, really strong approach for them.
Take a look here as the rotations are starting to ring out here. You got Alpha 7 just hanging out inside a quarry. Definitely a lot of nooks and crannies they can hide in there. Hopefully try to steal some of the eliminations. They only need 5 to put themselves into that smash zone. But everybody right now, the calm before the storm, just trying to find a spot. This next location, E-Arena, all the way still in North George Blue. They're rotating in super late here.
Yeah, also annoying for Alpha 7 seeing E-Arena just totally squandering North George.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it, guys. We could have played that. We could have been here so much sooner, past Hospital. Bit of a different approach here from Alter Ego as well. Regnum Kaya trying to play as central as possible. Feel like they do determine the center to a T mathematically, but it's Tulika going insane on the shots at the moment.
Woo!
And what is Regnum Kaya doing?
See ya!
They fall flat on their faces.
Back to back as well. What a rough start.
That might be GG, actually.
It could
GG no re.
You're right, dude. What can I say? What are you saying with this? I mean, this is...
You look so surprised and like, damn,
like,
yeah.
damn, that's true.
Yeah.
True.
That's a true one.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
And Regnum Kaya crumbling here at the start. That is tough.
They still got time.
Yeah, they still got time. They still got points. But the problem is...
That does kill the man.
Yeah, you know what? We were talking about this, you know, Max and I, during all the earlier stages. I call it the last game curse of a tournament like this, okay? The last match of the day is never as you expected. There's squads that know they got no chance of making it, you know, into that first place position. They start pushing people like crazy.
Were you saying like a lich casted a spell on Regnum Kaya today?
I'm telling you, it's like the last game of the day is so wild that you can't depend on it to try and get like a 20-point game or something like that, because it's just not the typical esports PUBG Mobile that we see.
Yeah.
So if I'm a coach or an IGL, I'm like, yo, we got to make something happen here. And now, oh, nice little vehicle switch there from Zeus. Getting knocked, though, and go back and forth shots ringing out. Ulf, hear this, though.
Yo, yes. Yes, you're right. You're right on Ulf. Right on Ulf coming straight in here from the sidelines. See if they can clean up off the back of this, but I don't think they got too much of a result off that, Jukes.
Yeah, it looks like Flash were able to just finish that out pretty quickly there. They did hear the noise, but they're going to have to push into this next zone here, as it looks like we're going to get a nice little Quarry Primos road finish.
Prefer this one. I prefer this one to North.
Yeah.
Very tough on that North side. Does create that little awkwardness with basically the high ground that drops down towards that low ground on the road. But for Kara as well as Thunder Talk, it's not as bad as it seems down on the beachhead. I actually think that's a pretty nice location to play. It is just that wrap out late game, which is going to be unfun.
Yeah, that zone goes north. They're going to have a hard time. That's for sure. Let's see what Thunder Talk does. They are holding the pier right now. Kara, again, just losing players early. Not the PMGC that we're hoping for. But, man, they're starting to see a lot of congestion into this circle. Teams finding their spots. This next zone is going to be critical. Let's see what Ulf does. Uh-oh. They may have spotted Zing isolated here. And Scarface pushes up in and out. Zing's going to be in big trouble.
I mean, doesn't look like it to me. It looks like Zing just does not care. Finally, there's some shots back towards him. Scarface getting taken down as well. So for the second place team, that feels rough. There's Thunder Talk immediately in. We are in gear sighting right now with the immediate crash over towards the rest of the team to administer that triage to the rest of the squad. Keep him up and kicking. It was Vampire to find those shots, and I think that was a lazy, sort of over-optimistic push there from Ulf, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it just looked like they could have pushed him and just been like, all right, 3v1, no problem. But they hear him and just said, oh, maybe we go this way. And then all of a sudden just get taken out. That's what I'm saying. At this stage, any little second guessing, you're going to get punished for it all day long.
I definitely felt like second guessing with
Oh my gosh.
Scarface dragging the feet, or in this case, dragging the pop tire. It did not look good, but a lovely nade over the top will take another down. I think that is resable though, so for Ulf, there's a possibility to keep this game rolling. Especially in second place, they want to put some more points on the cards because you got DRX chasing, you got APG chasing. This is sort of the perfect lineup over towards the top side of the lobby. Honestly, Alpha 7, Ulf, DRX, APG, Rectum Kaya, Alter Ego. What an amazing top 6 we have right now.
Yes, we do. Top 6 ready to go. Alter Ego, all 4 up here, getting towards that mid game. Getting some sight lines on APG, respecting them though. That is definitely the right play. Where's this circle gonna go though? That's the question. If it heads over to Quarry, this is gonna be ridiculous.
Alright, could get a great game out of it, but we'll wait and see. Because you're right, I think there is...
Oh my God.
Hold up.
All right. PMGC circles in full effect here.
You're right. Yeah, we're straight down towards that south side of Vampire. Might just be able to eclipse the lobby on this one. This could be a great game from them. They're able to hold the position, but teams are coming in real fast right now. They are burning rubber to get here.
Man, this is a worse circle shift for DRX. They were literally at the tippy top of the north side here. They're going to have to go through so many squads to try and push on in. Oh my gosh, DXavier are pushing right through the middle of everybody, but it's Alpha Gaming going up against Alter Ego. Top, gonna have to make this 1v1. Actually, no, Ziola's right behind him, and Alter Ego are out of there. Alva just gonna try and survive by himself.
Yeah, nice clean finish there coming through from Alpha Gaming. 3 elims now. Reefus getting res by Ziol. That's a fairly nice hold there coming through from APG, but you do have D+, waiting in the wings at the moment. Breathing down the necks of Alpha Gaming. Kara as well, just still can't catch a break.
Yeah, can't.
It's been a bad day
It's
today.
like literally everything is just going wrong, and that's the unfortunate part of it. Some people get blessed, and some people have it tough, and unfortunately, that's Kara there. That was a big, big fight, though, for Alpha Gaming, right? 3 eliminations. They take out Alter Ego there. They are now inching closer to DRX. The prize pool jumps significantly here in these top 3.
Yeah, I mean, for DXavier, though, I think that was the big thing that we sort of missed there, which is not our fault.
Yeah.
We were focused on the cool elims, the cool action going on. But they wrap down towards the south, and Kara wants to get a little bit of the pie down here on the beach. They'd like to get underneath the parasol alongside with Parajin and DXavier. But nades are spooky here. It's basically whoever can throw more first.
Yeah, that dip is really tough. I get it. I mean, it's so great position when it comes to the circle, but it's going to be very difficult to hold as Alpha very close to Vampire. Remember, Vampire, nothing to lose here. Now with that nade, they are on the push. Here we go. We can see right now Lazarus throwing in some nades. Doc trying to get the res onto Reefus as they inch closer. DXavier going to probably pop some shots off here from the third party, but they don't.
APG now look to reset on this one. Kara does go down in the meantime, so DXavier save themselves on this. So DXavier, they sort of took the slightly less good position, but APG, they wanted the actual position in the circle here versus Vampires, and they are happy to challenge for it.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty tough fight, though, because if they continue to ring these fights out, they're going to get third party, like, for sure. That is such a dominant position.
People want it.
Yeah. But it's also going to be difficult to rotate, too, because everybody's on the edge of the circle. As we look here at the edge, R8 getting into it with E-Arena. Joker making some shots onto Amori. Not going to be able to hit those from that distance. And, yeah, he's going to have to go ahead and take off. But, look, there's Alpha 7. Those are the 2 players right there. Oh, they are in such a tough position at that warehouse. If the zone goes south, which it most likely will, it's going to be very difficult for them to put those 5 points up.
Yeah, people are going to be wanting it. For APG, though, I think they're kind of okay to just coexist with Vampires at the moment, which is probably the best play to go for right now because you don't want to get third-partied. So as long as you could help each other out, you know, help a brother out in the middle of the circle.
Yeah.
We get like second or first. you know, that's okay. We can change that about.
That's the right play, 100%. You know, I think the reason why we saw that fight even start ringing out is because Vampire at the bottom, and they're just like,
Like, we don't want you here. Like,
it's
we don't
our
have to
house.
share. We don't want to have to share, but
That's
we
right.
will. We will.
Oh, here we go. Alpha 7 trying to get those 5 eliminations. Oh, and they didn't. A 0-point game. And that is going to be one more match we're going to see guaranteed here, Blank.
That is massive news for every other squad inside the lobby right now. Every time we go to that screen and the boys over on the stage are able to see that Alpha 7 aren't in match point just yet, it's one more game of freedom. In fact, 2, honestly.
That's right.
So every time. So right now, the games cannot end until match 4. Every time we move that marker, teams getting happier to try and chase. It is a struggle right now, though, because 2nd, 3rd, 4th so close together. It is a tight-knit leaderboard at the top side.
I'll tell you what, though, this is huge for Alpha Game, right? The fact that we had Alpha 7 go out there in a centralized position. They have the warehouse, 3 eliminations so far. With a win here, that could put them easily into 2nd place, very close to 1st. Let's see how this is all going to play out, though. You got Mad Bulls going into it with E-Arena. Dead Pack middle squad right now. 82 points with 6. Mad Bulls need to win this. Flip getting naded. That is not how you want to start this one off. And now you got Tourniquet on the push. This fight, though, just getting extended, taking so much time. Oh, but that looks like it. E-Arena putting Mad Bulls on the back foot.
600 damage right now for 10k. Looks awesome. Honestly, another nade goes through. Won't be quite the airburst and catches Mormon. Grenade inside his hand. Lemon's going to try and push forward, but won't even be able to get the knock there. The Thai team is up to 8 elims on this match. Their run not done just yet. 13th place on the leaderboards, but you know, between 78 in 10th place and 5th on 84 is nuts, right? It's really not that bad until you really get down towards Vampire in 15 with 48 points, but this is such a close lobby. Everyone's putting up points. Everyone's putting up points. So if we get to the end of this, if your favorite team went out in 12th, I don't think you can be too unhappy. It was basically 4th.
Absolutely. I mean, we heard as soon as that fight ring out, the crowd going crazy for E-Arena because they realized, like, yeah, 68 points so far. They win this game, another good one. They're in the show for some big money here.
Yeah. It's an amusing one. And they get the entirety of the Northern Circle to themselves after basically being the lone winners of all of that engagement in the woods that sweep across that area.
Take a look here where this next circle is going to go. Will it head on over to the beach? Will it head on over to that long road? Either way, I think no matter where the zone goes, Vampire and APG are going to be good, at least for the next circle. Let's see how they decide to play. Oh my gosh, they are locked dead center of this position. So Vampire, APG, all they got to do is just look at it each other direction, handle everybody else, and that could be an easy first, second place finish from these 2 squads. But they're going to have to stop the pushes as all teams have their eyes locked on that compound.
Yeah, I reckon teams probably wish that they'd crash this a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, I think, for Alpha Gaming.
Oh!
My God!
Bye-bye!
That's some shrapnel. And the King lays down the scepter. Damn, that's rough for D+.
That one hurt. Here comes the Arena on the push now. Nice little defensive nade there from Lazarus. Stops Joker. Let's see how they push this. Alpha Gaming are very, very close, but I don't know if they leave this building to push this. Let's see how this goes, though, as Lazarus trying to find the off angles here. The Arena don't have time to get this res off. They have to fight this. Tony K is holding off that position there. Mormon got that nade locked and loaded. Can he hit it on the Tony K? He doesn't. We switch on over, though. Tony K on the other side. Hey, Vampire making it happen here on the final day.
We ain't the only high squad in the lobby.
That's right.
All right. I'll put some respect on the name. Good shots, but for APG, they're starting to sweep right now. Jukes, they're moving through. Alpha Gaming looking to get something done. Miaulak is down. Lazarus, Tony K looking to hold out. A long nade into the building. Doesn't find anything of the sort, though.
Alpha had that itch. They could not stay still. Said, you know what, we got to start making the moves. But it's E-Arena that finish out Vampire.
11 eliminations on the match. What a great game it has been here for E-Arena. Marcel makes his way in, but pretty sure NC2 knows, no?
Yes, he does. He has to know. Yep. Uh-oh. Just missed that nade there. NC2 playing it very quiet. Oh, and not going to be able to get that one. As now, look, DRX on the push. Xavier have just been holding this little beach for the whole time, though, being very, very quiet.
I think NC2 might be safe, though, because APG pretty sure now they've cleared him.
That's fact.
They thought he was the last player. Marcel's the one who kind of creeps in, plays body double right there for NC2.
Works out for him here. And now APG are just battling it out with DRX. There's still so many top squads in this one, Blink. You got 2nd through 4th still alive. Xavier in 6th. Big threats. And then, man, it's still so crazy to be looking at these numbers. 12th and 13th place are not that far away.
71-72 at the moment. Thunder Talk, after all the good they did over in their PMGC, clearing away one of the most dominant teams throughout the league stage, just have not been able to truly transition that through over towards the grand finals. Can we even say that with how close this lobby is? I think we just have such strong teams here. Alpha Gaming, though, I was going to talk about this earlier before we started getting some fighting on board, is that they were the only team with the balls to make this move.
That's right.
All right?
Yep.
They had the gusto to go for it, and I think that that's what a lot of other teams are missing at the moment. I don't think they would have gone for that, but Alpha Gaming is like, this is the winning play.
I love that about Alpha Gaming. You know, like some teams and some players, when everything just starts getting so hectic, they default to a certain play style. And it looks like Alpha Gaming just prefer aggression, right? Let's go and get it the hard way. Just push and see what happens. And this time, it pays off big time. Alpha 7, shockingly, right, decided to go on the passive side of things, and they're getting punished for it. Or they did get punished for it, big time.
Yeah, big time. I mean, APG, likely they'll set themselves up with chicken dinner here and a couple more eliminations for a next game match point. Same with Ulf, if they can keep pushing through, but they're down to 1 player now, so it's a little bit more difficult. DRX, I don't really see them doing it with just the 2 players they have with the 0 Elim game. Maybe if they get up to a top 3, potentially they've set themselves up for the next match, but probably will have to be a pretty large game off the back of that one. But looking at this circle, likely that Xavier, Ulf, as well as Thunder Talk go down in the next shift, which should be coming through soon. You just got a Southeast hard shift. It's not very likely you're going to get another one, in my opinion.
It's going to be really tough for Xavier here. I mean, they still have a path on into this next zone with a crash. But the problem is you got Thunder Talk on the other side that are looking at them. Yeah, they're both looking at each other. And that's making it difficult for both squads. Honestly, this is one of those times where, like, if you're Thunder Talk and Xavier, you should kind of look at each other and be like, hey, let's just push together. Because if we don't fight this out, we're both going out right here, right now. But Alpha Gaming are like, nah, we're not going to risk that. Let's start putting on these shots and get some points on the board.
DRX definitely trying to pick something up where they can over towards Xavier. And I think DRX understands that, hey, we are center right now. We do need to sort of capitalize off the back of that. And Xavier is the team we have angles on towards. Aaron? Okay.
Sneaky.
Makes it up.
Oh, Thunder Talk are so much in trouble right now. As Marajin gets knocked in return, but they'll still have plenty of time to get him back up. That's 5 eliminations from Xavier. Next circle goes on over to APG.
King still has it, but you're right. It does center up over towards APG, and it ain't easy being the king as he does go down in the circle on that southeast side. Xavier slowly mending themselves inside of this circle right now. 86 points. A lot of those points came through from day 1. Day 2 was a complete wash, in my opinion. But this is a big APG game.
Huge game. Huge game for APG. They just broke that 100-point mark. Currently sitting in 3rd place. Oof is still alive, though. They're going to be able to sneak away some placement points here. Aaron's actually in a really good spot on that ridge line. I definitely think he's actually going to get some pretty serious placements. But this fight's going to ring out at any moment. And honestly, it's going to be deciding on who fights first. Like, if you're Xavier, what do you do in this position? I think you just kind of wait it out, hope for a fight, and then finally make that push.
I mean, to be honest with you, they sort of control center right now. It's stage 9 is where it's all at, and there's not an unlikely possibility that DXavier could win this game if they play it slow enough and they set it up well enough. But I think this team is battered and bruised, right? The vests are shredded on this squad.
That's the X factor right there, though. Doc pushing on out, gets knocked top, though, really quick on the res. I'll tell you what, man, if Doc gets knocked, the whole team goes crazy.
No.
Aaron!
Oh, yo!
Aaron takes the shot, gets the double!
Oh my God, I felt it. I felt that. I felt that.
I just got quiet because I was like,
I know,
this
dude.
is crazy.
I know. I
That's
know.
insane.
I actually saw that happening. I mean, with Aaron, you kind of really can't count him out from making that happen. But for APG, this is terrible news. Now this makes their next game that they play, because getting the chicken dinner now, it's not certain. They haven't had the time to set up going into this zone 9. They've had to get themselves back up to 70% HP, and they haven't had those stims rolling. So none of them are 100% right now.
Yeah, good thing for them, though. They have that side cleared out now that Aaron's gone. So
I mean, look at that, though. Like, that's a lineup, right?
That is.
You're about to get gunned down.
DXavier, oh my goodness. So set up here with this ridge line. So easy. This is definitely not an easy rotation. He's going to go out, and Top's actually going to take that point.
Yeah, nice steal indeed. Top.
11
elims is great. I mean, even if they go down now, it's a 17-point game for them, but I think they would love the chicken dinner as well as all of these elims. Because yes, you lose out on the 4 points from not getting the chicken dinner, but you also lose out on the 4 points right here as well on those players. This is a cheeky angle, a very cheeky angle with a nade on top as well. Courage is very low, and suddenly DXavier running scared. Another nade sent through, and it is perfect and on point.
They're stuck. They're completely stuck out. Reefus with this off angle is looking too good. That nade locks and loads it. It's all up to Levis by himself, and that is it. Alpha Gaming get the chicken dinner right when they needed it.
It's a massive win for APG. It looked deadly. The two solos almost ruined it for them. Aaron able to find a double and then almost find top of the window. That guy's on target, top on top. Such good work from them. And again, that is a huge game. 4+ points off the back of the win, 4+ points off the back of the DXavier players. That is a big jump up in the amount of points they're able to get. They're in the same boat as Alpha 7 now.
Yeah. Alpha on alpha action.
Alpha on alpha
I'm telling
action,
you, this
right?
is crazy.
There can only be one.
The battle of the alphas right here. I mean, and you know what? They showed their alphaness by making that push onto Vampires. We take it on over to the desk.
So much, Jukes, a battle. Thank you so much, Jukes. A battle by the beach finish on our Erangel, first Erangel of the day here, day 3 of the PMGC Grand Finals. And it's getting spicy. Battle of the Alphas, as Jukes said, Max.
It's maybe not Alpha 7, but I know that here's 7. He's hyped. The Alpha Gaming win you've been waiting for. It finally happened, and in a very interesting fashion here for Alpha Gaming.
The team that I ended up picking to be my champions for 2025 PMGC finally waking up. And to be fair, I gotta give them props because this team was able to adjust. I even mentioned at the beginning of the day, I was scared that some teams were going to bridge camping. That ends up happening with ends up backing up. They delay it, and then Alpha Gaming, we finally see the aggressiveness. We finally see the fragging power, Max, from all these players. Even with Dog, 603 damage, he's still able to perform for the team. But there was something that happened at the end that we were a bit of scratching our heads.
The docketing came back for one game, and Aaron almost got himself a double onto not only Doc, which he did end up flushing, but almost got also the knock and the flush onto Zyol, trying to go for the final res and saving Soldier Doc, but it did not work out, luckily enough for APG. They keep 3 players alive and even play the roof angle, which I was screaming at the end at DXavier, just deny the points, don't give it for free. But this is why you want to hold on to your utility until the very later stages of this game, because guess what? They didn't even have to take the fight here, 7. They just chuck 3, 4, 5 nades, squad wipe, easy pickings here at the end.
And talking about Alpha 7, I mean, they only needed just 5 points to get through that smash threshold, and they were not able to. At Circle, I mean, the playing path actually is what kind of set them off wrong. We thought that they were going to go Lipovka. Some other teams ended up overtaking Lipovka. We thought they were going to maybe go on a wider wrap north all the way to Georgia. That was not the case, and they get caught by E-Arena.
I think they tried to change their rotation path, and they just don't know which team is going to be where, and they get caught off guard. They lose 2 players. I mean, who would expect that to happen with Team Flash, right? They got the mini 14 Flash at the end, swapping from the Uzi. He got his backup from his teammate Zeus in the back. Very odd playstyle from Alpha 7. I feel like they are feeling the pressure currently in this game, and they are starting to fumble a little bit. The day 3 throw is going on.
It seems to be that a lot of these teams that have high expectations are starting to kind of fumble, right? Alpha 7, Regnum Carrier Esports, another donut. Like, what is going on here, guys?
Yeah, for Alpha 7, the big question mark, I was even mentioning it yesterday. This squad has gone into the final day of a PMGC in the past, in the first place, and they end up choking. Right now, what we're starting to see is I feel like the pressure is starting to get to them. Even though I got a chance to talk to Rebel, even though I got a chance to talk to some of the players, and they were looking confident, they were sounding confident, now they're going to start thinking about it. And right there on your screen is going to be a perfect example of what I was talking about with Ulf, just holding off APG for a long time, just making sure you delay the rotation. Ultimately, though, APG gets placed by the circle and plays it out so well.
And I want to give props to Xavier. We've been so critical on Xavier going into day 2 because they didn't have the circle going their way, and they just didn't do much with those decent situations. But here the circle keeps shifting away time and time again, and they keep leapfrogging it until they find that amazing dip on the beaches. And they zone teams away like Kara Esport, Thunder Talk, pushing them away onto the eastern side. This is the Xavier we wanted to see going into day 2. We didn't quite have it, but you know what? They're still really well placed in the rankings. These type of games could be the launching point for Xavier heading in this 3rd day.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see signs of life from a lot of these teams that are further down the leaderboard. Obviously, Vampire with 2 back-to-back high elimination games. APG securing 25 points there, you can see on your screens. E-Arena not doing too badly. The battle of the ties right there. E-Arena versus Vampire Esports earlier on.
Actually, E-Arena, I want to say I wanted Alpha 7 to do the rotation of E-Arena, going back to George Pole, entering onto the western side, going towards Quarry area, but no, again, they changed the rotation path. They get caught off guard, lose 2 players pretty much instantly. I think E-Arena, they made it so far, it could have been A7 in another universe.
I mean, A7 right there with those 0 points. The pressure is definitely going to get even higher when we end up seeing this overall, because I want to know who has now pushed up what in that. I think it was an 18-point gap that they had to that 2nd place team.
Yeah.
That's pretty much going to be gone, Max. And the pressure is going to start getting to them. And I'm hoping that these players don't end up getting into their head, which has happened in the past for Alpha 7.
Many times before. Many times before. If you're an Alpha 7 fan, you've been burnt in the past. Looking at the MVP of this game, it's going to be top. Are we surprised? Not really. This guy, he's looking for the Porsche Cayenne. He's going to try and secure it for himself. And the thing is, playing with a Mini 14, his damage is always insanely high, which with the MVP formula, damage is very important, and he's always going to be on top of these rankings.
And for top, something that I do want to give him props in, he wasn't the first one to go revive Doc right away. In the past, we've seen that over and over again. This time, it was Joel. You could see that Top was thinking about it. He's like, okay, do I want to jump this ledge? I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he's like, okay, maybe it's time that I try to slow it down, send somebody else, and maybe position myself in a way that we can actually win this game.
Possible good communication skills as well from Top. Watching over, but look at that. 120 for Alpha 7 and 117 for APG. We talk about teams that have that potential to climb that leaderboard super quickly. Those high point potential teams, and it's always going to be Alpha Gaming that comes out of your mouth first, right,
I mean,
Max?
exactly. It's so tight towards the top right now. First game, they dropped from 3rd position down to 5th, and now this game, they go from 5th position back up to 2nd place. It's all over the place right now, and now we have only 7, a 3-point difference. That lead you were talking about, it's gone. Alpha 7, you don't have a free start anymore. You don't have a free push into the smash zone. Right now, APG hot on their heels.
You got any of those wipes to clean my glasses? Am I seeing that right? Only 3 points separating Alpha 7 and Alpha Gaming, and especially going now into more Erangel matches. Top, we saw it earlier, he was that match MVP popping off. Rifus as well. Remember, Rifus was crucial for this squad. Crucial for them to be able to have such a great performance to put him in contention. But now, going for the rest of the day, I do want to see APG being able to get placement points outside of just wins. If we take away their 2 wins that we saw earlier on the overall leaderboard, that squad on all the other matches that we have played have only gotten 7 points. That's just not going to be good enough.
Well, didn't they already just get more placement points than the entirety of day 2?
Exactly. Day 2 was 3 points.
Exactly. So what an improvement here coming out from APG, and also their willingness to coexist with Vampire, with DRX in a compound, because they knew their weakness is taking the fight too soon, and if that happens, they're going to get third-partied. They knew what their weakness was, and they played around that perfectly.
Let's also talk about that Xavier, playing passively still, but still being better on the rotate. They had such a good position, didn't they, on that ridge line, but it just didn't quite work out for them, did it, Max?
Yeah, I wanted them to be a little bit more desperate to take control of that southern eastern compound, the warehouse. I think that when DRX got eliminated, that's the moment you push on it, but you are a little bit too slow, and then one player of APG goes on the roof, which that's just nailing the coffin at that point.
I think even at the point that Thunder Talk ended up getting eliminated, that would have been the perfect time to just wrap around and just surprise Refus. Obviously, they don't know that it's just Refus there, but it would have been the perfect timing to set up the smokes. They did have those smokes, just go for it. And I was with you, Max, as well, as saying at the end, see if you can maybe deny some points if you want to even contend for that championship.
We've also got Ulf sitting at third place right now, only 4 points behind Alpha Gaming, and then another, so that's what, 6 points behind Alpha 7 as well. 3 teams that are on that potential to get past that 125-point mark. And for those of you at home who have been watching and listening in the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're probably wondering, what is that voice that I'm hearing? My name's Barney Banks. I'm joined by Seven and Max. I'm here on the desk, a little bit late, right?
It was like you looked a bit different.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
you're not hot, dude. Hold on a second.
Went for a run and I came back. You know how it is. But yeah, Ulf, I think the surprise team of the day so far. Really impressive. Obviously, they have had good day 1 and day 2, but right now, this is the time to make it happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Kings of Rondo, we want to see what they can bring to the table going into a wrangle. They make it happen this time around with Aaron, like playing it slow in the wings with that slight little dirt pile on the northeastern edge of the circle, and that's the docketing that got completely punished by Aaron. If he got a double, I think we see a Xavier win, even maybe a DRX win at the end, and they got a little bit too willing to go for the res. But Aaron, never count this guy out. He's the rising star of Turkey. He's grown up here, Aaron, and he's been putting up really big numbers the entirety of this PMGC season.
Yeah, now I'm going to be a bit of a doubter here. I'm going to be a bit of a downer because for this squad yesterday, this is when they started slowing down. This is when they ended up with just awful performances, getting at 15 plays with 0 elims, 8 plays with 0 elims. Right now, you are contending to be the champion. You cannot allow yourself to just have that big of a slowdown. And for Alpha 7, we need to see some reaction out of you. We need to see you playing the way you were playing yesterday, and even when you weren't blessed by the circle, because we know that they can get the eliminations, we know that they can win fights, and hopefully they don't start doubting themselves too much in their heads.
I don't know if you would agree or not, but looking at Ulf, right? Looking at how they improved during the entirety of the Gauntlet Stage. Day 1, very passive. Day 2, trying to ramp things up a little bit more. Day 3, going complete aggro mode on all of these teams. I love their playstyle. And they've brought all of these teachings into the Grand Finals. If they end up winning this, I would say that's one of the biggest improvements in a PMGC for a champion we've ever seen in PUBG Mobile esports history. So Ulf could be trying to make that happen today. But again, as you said, they've been shaky in the past at this kind of stage. They can't afford to fumble now.
I mean, just keep an eye on those top 5 teams. Who's going to be staying alive? I mean, in Circle 7 of the last match, we had 4 teams being alive. And those 4 teams, guess what? They were hunting down that first place. So in this one, who else are going to be targeting Alpha 7? Are we going to be maybe seeing more of that? Because they want to stop them from getting to that match point threshold. And you mentioned it earlier too, Barney, and I'm glad that you brought this up. Vampire Esports, they have been fragging out more. That team has absolutely nothing to lose, and I think it's because of something that you mentioned, Max.
Yeah, the Sir Tanny pep talk in the hotel room. Like, guys, we kind of sucked. Let's initiate the comeback here. Vampire trying to get to the middle pack. They can make it happen, maybe, on this Orangle match.
It's those teams that are showing that signs of life that are dangerous for the teams that are sitting at the top of the table. Vampire Esports, they could spoil it for some of the teams that are sitting right at the top. Alpha 7 really need to watch out because they are the demons on Erangel. But speaking of Erangel, it's time for our second one of the day. Over to Jukes and Blake.
Here we go, second match of the day. We're going back to Erangel. Second Erangel match of the day. That's a big one right there. And will it be a big one for Alpha 7? Will they finally wake up and get those 5 points, Blake?
I mean, I've been asking it every game.
Come on!
They've been like a bad supermarket because it's never in stock so far. And hey, it's not a lot of elims need to get. Not a lot of points need to get.
This is the same playing path that we saw.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough for quite a few other squads. Vampire being starting Primos once again, and I think the Vampire really is kind of like the Grim Reaper of the lobby at the moment.
Yes.
They are just wandering around knocking on teams' doors, which is not fun. For APG though, their holdout over towards very Pier, those teams kind of left a little bit earlier than expected. I thought that they would gatekeep for a little bit longer, but I think because those two teams come together quite soon, it's like Ulf doesn't really want to deal with Xavier doesn't really want to deal with Ulf. Both teams don't really want to deal with APG at the same time. So yeah, it's not worth it to them. Alpha 7 going for something different again. No Rup Noya this game.
Wow. That's
Guys,
different.
You overthinking this.
Dude, and look at the circle. Look at the circle. If they would have landed in the same spot they did in the last game, they would have been so set up perfectly.
Could just drop Yaz, man.
Man, this is going to be a big challenge for Alpha 7. You know, the good thing that they have for them is that, you know, for the longest time, they have been an edge-style team.
Yeah.
And they thrive on the edge, right? Being able to get those eliminations. So
Great rotates in the end game, yeah, 100%.
It's playing into their strengths here a little bit. At the same time, though, center zone would have been nice.
It would have been nice. It's tough getting across that bridge versus Kara and Thunder Talk. Oh,
wow.
damn.
And wild, too, nonetheless.
You guys really are GG no read. I don't want to talk about you anymore.
This is tough.
That is tough. For Alpha 7, yeah, they don't need to be doing all that.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing all that.
That's the best way to put it at this point. Like, just, honestly, I'd be so much happier just to see them play their old game.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's so, for us, maybe if you're just tuning in today, like you're seeing this and you're thinking to yourself, Alpha 7's kind of all over the place a little bit, or if you're just seeing it's like, Alpha 7's playing a little bit weird. For us, it's strange, having watched the entire league, looking at this Alpha 7 now, because it's a very, very clearly different squad than 2 days ago, or even just yesterday.
24 hours. You know, they had a conversation with each other and decided to make those adaptations, and it's just hasn't been working.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part about, you know, PUBG Mobile Esports is you make these changes, and if it works, you're a genius, right? And if it doesn't work, it's like, why didn't you just do it work before? And it's just a tough situation.
I think they looked at what Regnum Kaya did over in 2024, which was a little bit more of an aggressive play style. They didn't try and play too slow getting in towards those final day. And it didn't pan out for them, right? Because they got overtaken by another team.
Yeah.
Now, like, okay, well, maybe we can do it better, get it done earlier, and pick up that chicken dinner much, much sooner in the day and just finish out those games because Regnum Kaya didn't finish out on those chicken dinners, that's why they lost. But I think that Regnum Kaya played that day fine.
Yeah.
I think Regnum Kaya, in all honesty, deserved to be the 2024 champions. But I think that they got pipped to the post right at the end by a circle that was unpredictable. It was actually unpredictable.
Yep. And it is against the team that is literally the last game of the day record holders, like the best team ever when it comes to the last Miramar of a day of a tournament, because D+ just don't lose for the most part when it comes to that. So it's just it's so tough. It's so tough to lose
some kind of weird tradition.
Yeah, a big, such a huge title in that fashion. And we'll see how Alpha 7 does make it happen here. What do you think about this? I'm starting to think after that Rondo match, because we're talking about like adaptation and like getting in your own head.
Yeah.
I think with the whole lobby focusing on Rebel at the end, I think that got in their head even more.
They're like, everyone's out to get us.
Like
right
literally.
now. Yeah.
You're like, Stark, no way they don't shoot at each other right now.
Yeah, but that's just the way you have to play the game. You do paint a big target on your back. You have to realize that. But at the same time, just because you've got a big target on your back doesn't mean you're no less of a team.
True.
Because there has been multiple times where teams have tried to hunt them down, try to take them out, but they have turned the tides on that so easily. So I think for Alpha 7, whatever talks they had last night, I think they were the wrong ones, personally.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to break. Now they're going to be getting gate kept by Kara, of all teams, on that bridge.
I think once they pass 125, though, we're back in regular viewing.
Yeah.
for Alpha 7.
That's for sure.
But the thing is, are they going to cross 125? I mean, they're already taking damage. Crio's down.
Oh. And thirsty.
Yo.
That's it.
This is the worst thing. I mean, 7 yesterday was like, stop smiling. Stop smiling.
Rebel, though, gets a knock in return. That could be that 1 point there. They do have the hovercraft.
Are they getting gay cat right
Oh,
now?
they got one.
Okay.
That's 1 point. 4 more left to go. Carrillo is gone. But now they got Kara on the run here.
Round away, they lose a player, but it's 1 point. It is 1 point. But that's, again, if they're not able to get much further than this, that's a whole nother game. And we don't finish till match 5 again.
We're going to Miramar.
I'm not saying yesterday, they're pretty sure we're going to match 6.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely looks like what it's going to be here. The big thing, though, here as well is, I mean, now you got Alpha Gaming, you got Ulf that are right there, too. They can easily hit that smash rule in this game as well.
I think Ulf's slightly more difficult to make happen. It's what, 12 points that they need?
Go take a win. Or even a high elimination.
It'd be a high elimination game.
Yeah.
I mean, for APG, they just kind of have to sneeze when they get across the line.
I think they do, to be honest. I think with how they've been playing so far today, because they're playing their game true to form. And then with that last match, the momentum.
They even all just commit Sudoku over towards Doc, right?
Yeah.
They were like, hey.
Yeah. If they didn't do that, they'd probably be here now.
Yeah, exactly.
They would have been done.
But they're like, hey, we're in our final games. We could get into it. We're still going to send it over towards Doc. We're still going to make that same mistake. Obviously, I don't like that. I don't enjoy that. But I respect that nothing can change how they play.
That's
Even
right.
the final day of the biggest final of the year.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's a war of attrition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got to stick to your guns. And that's what they do. And it works, obviously, right? They're in second place right now. They're looking really solid. I am looking here at this zone. We got that mansion circle at play. Tons of teams are already centered on up. Alpha 7 do finally make it past that bridge. They do lose a player. They do get that 1 point. Does look like they're starting to head towards Milta Power, though. Alpha 7 definitely, again, just playing a completely different day here today on the final day. Looking over now. We're going to see where this next circle goes. As far as squads that are be pushing in a little bit later into the zone, we got Vampire. You can see them all the way there. Still trying to catch up to Pachinki. The zone goes on over to Lipovka. So that's going to make things super interesting. You got Ulf dead center in this one. DRX are right there as well. This could be a huge game from these top squads.
Yeah, I think for Alter Ego, this is where I really want to see them start to pop off a little bit. They start towards Lipovka. They have a lot of control towards Lipovka. This is where I won the games. Start getting a little bit better for these guys. 83 points. It's not that far off. One good game, you're up into the hundreds. D Plus find a little bit of damage for themselves. They've jumped up to 10th now after being in 16th yesterday, and can go much further. Honestly, might even pass R8 eventually. Lamborghini goes down to Kraken. That's from Goat.
And now Paragen getting knocked as well. Mad Bulls are right here too. So D Xavier not looking too hot in this one. They're in 5th place, 93 points. They're definitely in contention, but with this start, it's not looking too hot. Mad Bulls. Mad Bulls, I think, are one of those like sleeper squads for me. They're one of those teams that not a lot of people, I think, were like really focusing on coming into the last day. But I think they're an absolute threat. They're down a player,
Yeah,
but they're playing it very aggressive here.
I think the problem has always been with Central Asian teams is that they're so inconsistent. Like Flip and Lemon can be some of the best players on one day and then be some of the worst on the next. And I think that's the difficulty with those teams. I think Mad Bulls have really tried to prove everyone wrong here at PMGC, and I think that they've made a great bid for the top. I don't see them getting further than like a 3rd place, though. That's still a phenomenal result for the Mad Bulls. But yeah, I would agree. I think a lot of people underestimated this team coming into it. Thought they would be bowing out way earlier in the tournament overall in the league stage. So I still think it's a great result being here at the actual Grand Finals in Bangkok. Zio goes down to tops though.
Uh-oh.
That's a bit rough. That is a bit rough. Is he far ahead? He's way far ahead than anyone else. So at least they have the backstab, but look at that. He's bleeding out so fast here. I think APG likely to go down to 3.
Yeah, let's see what it is. Yeah, Zol completely out of this one. So APG are going to be down to 3 here as this zone is starting to close. They do end up getting away from it, though. Sometimes you got to make that little rotational sacrifice. Unfortunately, it was Zol for APG.
Losing Zol's not the worst thing in the world. I think they can play on a 3, at least from this stage of the game. It's going to get pretty hectic anyway. Alter Ego's compound is nutty. A really good spot. If they get a Northern Shift on this, I think that Alter Ego can play a massively strong game off the back of it, but it does move down towards prison once again. We're getting flashbacks to Z7 7Z Globen.
Yeah.
7ZG. Dang.
That's a throwback right there.
Yeah. Front themselves off from the top of prison.
Let's see right now. Are we going to get that prison finish here? That'd be wild. We saw one before. At least prison-esque area.
Prison-esque.
Yeah, prison-esque.
Yeah, prison-esque.
Yeah. We saw some jump downs. That was pretty wild. Let's take a look, though, here at R8. 80 points on the board. You know, that's what's crazy. You were talking about Mad Bulls earlier, like that inconsistent team, right? They have those crazy moments, and then they have those moments where they fall off. The crazy part about this is that there's so close on the leaderboards, and so many teams here have that potential where I just think they get a good zone, and they're going to put up 20 points. And I think that's the biggest threat in this lobby because
I think it's dependent on the team, realistically. I think right now, if you said to me, Regnum Car, you get a strong spot in the lobby, this is zone 5, yeah, they're going to have a great game off the back of that. I think they're going to get a 20-pointer. Probably not. I think if you gave Alpha 7 a great spot, stage 5, and then, you know, a really good spot in the zone, I think that's a 20-point easy, yeah. Same for APG, same for DRX, and same for Alter Ego. For all 4 of those teams, though, it's so hard for them sometimes to get towards that late game.
So difficult.
Whereas Regnum sort of has the opposite problem, being center zone, strong spot from zone 1.
Let's see if Regnum could put some points on the board because they haven't been able to do it at all today so far. Let's see right now. Everybody just kind of getting set up in this circle. Alpha 7 did get another elimination, so they have 2. Here comes a push, though, from Flash onto APG. They have the numbers. Let's see what Doc could do here. He gets 1. That's a huge knock. Gets knocked in return, though. Top goes down as well. Reefus is way too far away, and that is Alpha Gaming crumbling here in this match.
Well, they certainly sneezed, but it wasn't pretty. We're down to 117 points here with just 1 player remaining. Win is trying to keep himself up. Reefus will find Bose now, looking to make this the 1v3 now versus Flash. Heads on in, spraying through the smoke. Cannot find it, though. And that's APG down to the rookie squad of the year in Flash. And Alpha 7, they find themselves another point, inching themselves closer and closer to match point.
I do like that push, though, for Reefus. I think that was the right.
Sick.
I think that was the right play. I mean, he had a couple down. You just had to win that fight. He would have gotten some sick eliminations for his team. Because trying to survive and get placement points here, that's one of the most frustrating things for me. You see a player like, oh, down to 1, let's just go and try to figure out something. Nah, make that push. Try to make it happen. Unfortunately, it just didn't. And at a pretty tough time, too, because they had 117 points. They could have broken into that smash zone in this game, but just weren't able to do it.
Yeah, sorry, I punched my mic.
Oh.
I punched my mic. That was the noise.
Ah.
Probably heard that at home. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it wasn't out of
frustrating.
anger. No, it wasn't out of anger. It wasn't out Whoa! Okay, well, I punched my mic. Jukes fell off the stage. We're having a real day today.
Well, we're out here.
He's still got the headset on, though, which is impressive, even though he's in the crowd right now. It's sick.
Dude, the crowd supporting my weight.
Yeah.
Here.
He's like a fallen angel, and they pushed him back up.
Victory. Feeling great right now.
What a day.
What a day, indeed.
John's gone. So is the chair.
Oh, boy.
So is APG. It's all. Yeah, it's not roses and daisies.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Let's take a look at this, though. Hey, Car 98 from Silas. That makes me happy, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see him use it as he is getting shredded by R8.
Damn, Silas looking more shredded than that chair, man.
Oh, yes.
Goodness
That
me.
chair is deleted off the server. Oh, boy.
All right, Ulf looking over towards Vampire at the moment. 4 players still up, 51 points, looking to push that a little bit more here at this stage of the game. Definitely possible to go for, but I think for Ulf, this means a lot to them. Tony K is taking a heck of a lot of damage here. Bullets are whizzing past him. Yeah, like with the hovercraft though, and it is covered by smoke, so I don't really think Ulf sees it to take the sprays. Loxy inside the smoke goes down to the better clutch maestro in Murray. And what a day it's been for Regnum Karya. What a terrible day it's been for Regnum Karya.
Gosh,
I think
3 in a row, dude.
yeah.
That's
7.
crazy.
0 points. Yeah. Regnum Karya 0 points. 2. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so Regnum Karya 0 points on the day.
Unreal.
That's rough.
Let's see what Vampire could do, though. Just trying to disrupt this lobby. Oof! Had a crazy game. The crowd is going crazy. As now you got Lazarus, got that nade locked and loaded on a Scarface, and it hits a target. Now it's just all up to Catch by himself. 1v2 situation. He's down pretty low in HP. Oh, that molly looks so good. Lazarus making it happen here. Just a little bit too far from Catch. But that nade, oh, the car just saving him by the inch of his teeth right there.
Yeah, that's the mighty tire made of something bulletproof. Not quite
Not
sure
my
yet.
chair.
Trying to bounce off the back of the tree. It's a good maneuver, but Ketch is just going to keep bandaging up. Doesn't really have too much. Go on, take the shots. Take the shots here, Ketch.
Hey, he's getting a lot of help there from Kara, and that is Vampire eliminated. Catch uses that opportunity to get out of dodge here. He's going to be sending it, though. That's going to be a very tough rotation.
Yeah, I mean, Alpha 7 right on this southeast side. This is probably the fight that we need to take a look at going forward here, because E-Arena do back it off, and Alpha 7 looking just to push a little bit further now. They're only 3 points out. I believe they're only 3 points out. No,
Oh, 1 point.
Not. They're 1 point
point.
out. They're 1 point out. Okay, cool. We're almost there. It's not that hard. Let's just get that one last point. I think Alpha 7 can do this.
They're on the edge, too. Back against the wall. This is where they play their best.
You do not want to repeat. You do not want to repeat of all the times that we have hit up towards second place, even though they started day 2 in such a phenomenal position multiple times.
This is getting intense, folks. Alpha 7 looking really good in this match. They have a great position in this circle. 1 more point. They reach that smash zone. APG is out. Ulf pretty much down and out as well. DRX down to 1. And that is D+ out of this one. As far as teams that could possibly really make this comeback, make something happen, gotta look at Alter Ego. They got all 4 up here, but they've been pretty missed so far here today.
Yeah, I think Alter Ego has a real good chance. You are right, it has been hit and miss, but this is more hits than miss from Go. An immediate removal of the Mad Bulls. Well, no stampeding for them. They were basically cut down in the tracks right there. For APG, if they win a PMGC championship, it will be Zol's second.
That's right.
Be another player that does the multiple, at least, not the back-to-back, but has multiple wins in PMGC under his belt. One of the few other players, in fact, that's able to do it. Because Regnum Karya with Silas wasn't quite able to get it done last year.
And then right here towards the end, man, first 3 games, 0 points for Regnum Karya. I know he's got to be super frustrated. Let's take a look, though, here. Alpha 7, they do have a hovercraft here towards the end. That could pay dividends. Obscure with a big off angle right now, just trying to cover his squad. Let's see E-Arena driving on up, getting mighty close. And they are having that hovercraft to just get some more information, kind of bully squads away from them. Because yeah, Alpha 7, they don't want to get engagement right now. They kind of want to just wait it out, see where this next circle goes. But if they have the opportunity to outnumber players, I think they take the fight.
With 3 players, it is hard to find someone that outnumber at the moment, other than towards the center of the lobby, where a lot of those solos have sent. For Alpha 7, it's basically just a case of trying to make sure you keep tabs on E Arena. Nade's going downwind over towards Paragin. Xavier, Vic up and alive, but Killer Joe did go down for GOAT. So they are limited players now.
Yeah, you can see GOAT there. 79 points on the board, 5 eliminations. Getting a little active here towards the end.
Yeah, man, I mean, man, like the problem I find with match point, it makes the game so slow.
Yeah. It sure does. And this zone is brutal. Oh my gosh, pretty open range here.
Smash?
Let's see what happens is...
Smash.
Smash.
Smash? Smash by placement smash.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Alpha 7. Yeah, that's 8th place team. I think they just got to out-survive one squad, and that should do it.
Yeah, I mean, they're in 8th now. This is where you get the first placement point.
That's
you
right.
get 1. Everyone's looking at me in
They locked it
elation
in.
right now. They're like, wow, you figured that out. You're a smart cookie, you.
Well, Alpha 7 have done it. They are going to be officially in that smash zone. We could have, if they win the next game, this is all over.
Yeah, but they still got to. It's one more game to win.
That's right.
We're currently in match 3, so we can do it in match 4 at least, which is nice. Gives them a couple more times to do it. Again, even Barney, who is now on our desk, was saying yesterday that for Alpha 7 it was a masterclass over on Arundel. They have one last time to show us who's Gordon and get it done. Arena. A lot of nades. Alpha 7. Look to Pincer now as well, Hot Jukes.
They're getting active. Here they go. They sense the third party. They are on that hill right now. Joker with a nice nade on to win. Yeah, they're going to definitely push this one here. And Alpha 7 should be hungry for this third party. Are they going to make that push, though? Yeah, look at this. Flash just on the drive, trying to survive this, running through so many squads. And now E-Arena are getting into it with Alter Ego.
Oh, no. I mean, Thunder Talk and DRX taking shots over towards Alpha 7. Again, why are we pushing into the circle here? That's like such a free fight to take over towards E-Arena. They could have pushed so much earlier, created some real issues. Instead, man, the coaches have got to stop talking to these players.
Yeah.
before the next day.
This is unbelievable. Well, you saw it there, folks. They didn't have to wait for that placement point to be put on the board. They get match point. AJ gets a knock on to Obscure, though. They realize it's Alpha 7 here. All eyes are on them, and that's Alpha 7 out.
I don't understand it. I don't think it's good. But I mean, Regnum Kai has obviously been affected by whatever pep talk they had, and that's in quotation marks. We didn't quite grab that. I know I'm not on camera, but you could. I feel like you could feel them.
Yeah.
Feel those quotation marks. So, yeah, I don't know.
And those are bold quotation marks.
They really were. They
that's
really
for
were.
sure.
So yeah, I think for Alpha 7 as well, the Alpha 7 I know would not do that. They would have pushed that.
For sure. For 100%. Without a doubt.
Because usually they would just clear space, take E-Arena out. Yeah, they might lose that fight, but the benefits far outweigh the negatives of just going for a push towards the center of the circle. You know you're going down, dude.
Yeah, and it makes total sense, too, especially if we do end up going the full 6 matches.
Yes.
Here, because, you know, that could have been the play that decides first or second when it comes to points total, you know, so...
Yeah, I mean, if someone's on your team being like, oh, we've hit 5 points, we've done it. It's like,
you have not done it yet.
You have not done it.
Exactly right.
Like,
Yeah.
you need all the points you can grab. Towards the end of this game, you should have been looking to get more on board.
And they could have.
How did RCB lose last year? 2 points.
Oh, boy. Will this be that mistake that costs them later on? They have reached the smash zone, though, so it looks like their playstyle is towards that strategy of making it happen here. Oh, look at that. Krypton switching the seats, trying to put Turney K in the blender. Does not work out, though. And now he's going to go ahead and get these flushes. E-Arena putting some more points on the board. Nice shot, though, from GOAT with the third party. A lot of teams looking to make a big jump here. Look at the point difference from 6th all the way down to 13th. It's so close.
Very, very close. And D Plus actually was able to jump up to 8th after this game with 5 elims they're able to find. Ghost looking for some more shots here, but it will be Snape to find that one. You know, I would have preferred that Krypton, instead of jumping in and out of the vehicle, just shot the guy. It looked cool. It was ineffective. Snape's down as well there. It's taken out. Slight substitution going on there then for Alter Ego, with Snape being in. So I'm curious to see who exactly they did switch out on that team.
Let's see what Xavier's going to do, though. Super quiet. They don't get circle here. Zone, hard shifts off them. They're going to be wrapping on that north side, possibly looking to catch a third party on the GOAT. They do got an angle here. Here they go. Out the vehicle. They do catch this player. Now Xavier finally starting to get in the mix of things.
And they do need to. They're only on 2 points this game, but they can get up towards 100. The Xavier, Vietnam looking to get something done, but equally it's E-Arena. And the crowd is definitely loving this. Thai team looking to put a chicken dinner under the belt for PUBG Mobile here at the Grand Finals in Thailand.
Crowd is making some noise. They are excited. They sense one of the local squads about to get a chicken dinner here. Joker throwing over those meds on the tourniquet, said, let's make it happen for the hometown team. It's going to be a difficult one, though. You got Thunder Talk full squad up right now, rocking a little 3-1 split. Xavier been pretty quiet, now starting to get some eliminations. But E-Arena do have the high ground here, Blake.
And the circle cuts down towards that south side, so it is between a few teams here. For Thunder Talk, I mean, personally, if we were a week ago, I'd probably say that this team would win this as the foreman.
Oh!
And I probably would be right. But it's hard to predict this team. They've had such a horrible grand finals. It really has not felt like the same team. But 8 elims here, it's a good game so far.
Good game indeed. They had 80, well, now they're up to 82 points. That's a big jump for them. They need this chicken dinner here. They really, really do. They're on the south side position, and this could end up paying off for them, especially if Xavier start to get some eyes on the EA, but it looks like DX is just looking to kind of snake their way into the circle, playing it very quiet, while Thunder Talk, they're not leaving anything to chance.
Yeah, those nades are close. Those nades were hella close. Joker, though, looks over towards Xavier, making the crosses. Great shots from Tourniquet. 2 players going extremely low here. Parajin pulls the pin on the grenade. His team is falling round. And
now we're going to see a big nade come on out. And look at that. Joker getting knocked. Parajin keeping himself alive here. And now Thunder Talk are on the push. They know these teams are down and out. They're getting that chicken dinner. They are not wasting any time. They need every elimination they can get. And that is it. Thunder Talk pull out the chicken dinner with some serious eliminations.
And with how close the lobby is right now, Thunder Talk are back in the Thunder conversations on the leaderboard. A really nice finish there. And again, it felt questionable for me to predict that team towards the end there of that game, just because of how they played. But I'm telling you, about a week ago, they were an insane team.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Hey, you know what? They're showing up right on time. Couldn't have picked a better moment to get such a big game here. Man, they only need a little bit more. But Alpha 7, they're in that smash zone, Blank. So right now, they are still the biggest threat in this lobby.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest point that we didn't really bring up there, but we were very focused on the game towards the end. Look at that. Thunder Talk with the cats as well. Yeah, that's my kind of team. But yeah, Alpha 7 back in the running. They're at the top, 127 points. They're on match point.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially entered the Smash Zone. Oh my goodness, Alpha 7 finally managing to get over that threshold. It only took them 3 maps, gentlemen. What is going on, 7?
And it looks so sketchy for Alpha 7. They end up going towards Novo, And out of all the stuff that I've been saying, I was hoping I was going to be incorrect, Max, but that is not the case because they had another squad just waiting for them. None other than Kara on the Eastern Bridge. The bridge camp, Carrillo just goes for it, gets eliminated. But for the rest of the squad, they're able to step it up and get that match threshold.
I think Kara were hoping it was going to be APG. We're like, is that Alpha 7? They don't usually drop Novo. What's that about? And actually, they dropped Novo, trying to maybe avoid a little bit of a drop clash because DRX, they went Komeshki northeast next to Stolber, and I think that was an attempt to try and actually go for Alpha 7. I think it was a targeted play. I'm like 90% sure that was the intent, but unfortunately they weren't there. And later on in the game, Alpha 7 find eliminations onto DRX, so a little bit of an Uno reverse card there.
Now you say 90%, I'm going to bring it up even more. 99.9% because there's no reason for DRX to go all the way to Komeshki with that 2-2 split. There's just no reasoning for that. I mean, great performance in regards to DRX, wanting to maybe try to catch Alpha 7, and good adjustment from Alpha 7 being able to just readjust to what the lobby is currently giving them, which is everybody wanting that top spot.
So I'm looking at this game actually for Thunder Talk. By the way, congratulations Thunder Talk. Let's talk about the win a little bit here.
Is it a little bit too little, too late, TT?
Yes.
See what I did there? Do you like it, guys? See, the
Hot
jokes are starting to flow.
Hot jokes, please. Save us. But actually, before this game, right, they were in 12th position. And the point gap was not that big. So actually, I'm really wondering here, Barney, can they make an ascent maybe towards a top 5 position? Winning it all is going to be tough, but top 5 is in the cards for Thunder Talk.
Almost top 5. Also, we've got to mention a little bit about Alter Ego at the moment.
Yes.
Not exactly having the most amazing day, but still managing to stay within that kind of top 6 right now. And you're looking angrily at Max, and Max is looking scared.
I'm just looking at Max because Max was pointing out something to me that I didn't even notice before this match or at the start of this match, and that is Alter Ego once again has done a roster change, and it's maybe a roster change that Max might not be the biggest fan of.
Look, I don't have an issue with Moana in particular, okay? You know what, maybe a little bit. I want Alva to play. Sorry, ever since PMWC, Alva has been an amazing setup player. I wanted Snape to come back in, which he did. I think the getting rid of Alva here in priority of Moana is definitely a big misplay, team rotation-wise. I think the core should not have Moana on. That's my personal opinion. They at least had 4 players alive at the end, and I'm digging a hole right now. I'm just going deeper and deeper and deeper. I think that the rotation, it keeps changing. Maybe they should stick to a core 4 and just go for it the entire tournament.
I would definitely have to agree with that. Hopefully they end up staying with the core 4 because some stuff was working out for that squad. One thing we got to talk about out of all this top 4 squads has to be DX, because DX has not been favored by any of the circles. On day 1, that was the main storyline. This team just keeps getting those fed circles. That's not the case now. Just keep looking at what DX has to do. The circle keeps going away from them. And something else that I want to point out from DX is I love the 2-1 split that they did when they wanted to get the last player from GOAT Gaming later into the match, with Parajin being the Aakhir player, the off-angle player. Great plays from DX, completely different than what we saw in day 1.
By the way, I just want to say on this rotation, Thunder Talk barely moved since Circle 2. That compound locked down the entirety of that match. But no, really good point on Xavier. And let's not forget, they were in 1st place going into day 1.
Yep.
Day 2, they dropped down to 7th position. Are we going to see a little bit of a yo-yo effect here, going back towards the top of the rankings? Definitely a possibility, getting 10 points on board. But what really matters here, of course, is Alpha 7 getting the 7 points here. They needed 5. They got even more than that, 7 points to make sure they enter the Smash Zone. But now, we talked about it a little bit earlier, they're going to have to maybe change their playstyle. Alpha 7, everyone's going to be looking at you to make sure you don't end the tournament early.
Keeping it on brand there with the points.
Very much so. I think that a lot of people,
Yes.
if you need to be reminded as well, of course, about the Smash Fall, you have to get into the Smash Zone before you can then secure the Smash win in that next map. So it's looking a bit spicy for a lot of these teams that, like you said earlier, Seven, the teams that don't have anything to lose, like TT Gaming, like E-Arena as well. They're just absolutely smashing out these games, climbing the leaderboard really quickly, and essentially they're not looking to, they're of course wanting to win the tournament, but it's probably not looking likely. However, they're climbing the leaderboard thick and fast.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reverse leaderboard in regards to some of these squads. They are starting to perform well. Thunder Talk, congratulations on that win. But then we saw there on the match ranking, APG really not able to do much. Then you have Regnum, which, I mean, Regnum, I think Blank and you, Max, pointed out too. They have gotten a total of 0 points today. This is not the Regnum that we were expecting to see. But now we go here to the overall ranking. Alpha 7, 127 points. And what are you saying? What?
Thundertalk from 12th
Thundertalk.
position up to 6th rank in one
Yeah.
singular chicken dinner. It was so close in the middle pack of the leaderboards. I didn't expect that big of a jump up. 95 points. Actually,
I think it was
not that far.
Jukes. I think it was Jukes that was saying earlier from 6th to 13th was only something like 10 points. So there you have
and
it.
it came into effect, right? And actually, right now, that's not a big gap between himself and the top 3. Podium position, maybe not even just top 5 here. Top 3 is going to be a possibility for Thundertalk if they keep this momentum going.
I'm going to be looking at those squads that are currently 2 to 5th place because, I mean, even if you go all the way down to DX, that is just 22 points away from the Smash threshold, which could be doable with the way that this squad is currently playing as well. And you just mentioned it, Thunder Talk. I mean, the crowd is getting lively. Everybody's starting to back him up. We have seen China being able to back up, and I know you're currently looking at Regnum. What happened with Regnum?
There were...
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We are going to now head over to a very quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship, coming to you live from Bangkok, Thailand.
I hear a shout, it shatters the silence in the morning. Call your name, I see the doubt. We're falling too fast without a warning. But if you stay, you'll battle by my side. You'll never ever win the day. No matter what they say, this mission ain't broken. Don't take what is spoken. Our path ahead is still unknown. This battle ain't over. Let's walk through the fire. Wash out our fears. Fight to the end. Here we go again. The scars are still fresh, but we will overcome the pain. The lights will never fade. This mission ain't broken. Don't take what is spoken. Our path ahead is still
Welcome back to the PMGC 2025. It's day 3, and if you're only just joining us, we are halfway through our final day. And of course, only one team right now has crossed the Smash Zone threshold, and that is Alpha 7, who are not having the greatest day, are they, Max? Really, let's be honest.
I mean, they're in the Smash Room, right? Looking at Alpha 7.
Yeah, but I'm with you.
Yeah, it's not a good day.
It could be much better.
No, you know what? It's not good. It's enough, right, so far.
It's enough.
It's enough to get in the Smash Zone, but now we need a win. And enough is not going to get you a win.
Well,
That's unfortunate.
we got to talk a little bit about the phone that, of course, everyone is using right here, right now. So make sure that you check out the Infinix GT 3D series. Right there, you can see it in front of your face right now. It's the official gaming phone of the 2025 PMGC, engineered for precision, performance, and victory. So make sure that you grab yours and start to outplay the rest. And with that being said, gentlemen, as you take a lovely selfie with it, look how beautiful that phone is. We've got to talk a little bit about what we've just seen in that match. We discussed it a bit. DRX managing to try and crash the party of Alpha 7. Alpha 7 still managing to cross that threshold, but is there a little bit of beef starting to form here, or are they just trying to eliminate them and then Karma bit them, didn't it, afterwards?
I think it's just a team trying to stop them from getting into the threshold. There's no beef. It's just we want to also be the champions. That's what DRX is currently saying and wanting to happen. But Alpha 7, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think they're currently having one of the best days.
Yes.
But I am glad that this team was able to bounce back and stop that downtrend momentum, because usually for this squad and for these players, and I'm talking about specifically for Carrillo and Rebel, they've been in this position before, and if it keeps going down, then they start doubting stuff. And whether you want to believe it or not, even the best athletes in the world do end up getting into their heads.
Hey, Alpha 7, listen to your coach over here. Don't smile on day 2.
Don't.
It is not good. It never works out for them. But it's also been a really big drop-off looking at Regnum Kara. They fell from 4th position at the start of today down to 10th, putting a little bit of a reverse Thunder Talk, kind of, because as it's been mentioned many times, today it's so close in the middle pack. One good game or one bad game can all give you a good opportunity to jump up the rankings or fall down into the abyss.
And I know that we don't talk about it enough, but prize pool difference between jumping from somewhere like 10th all the way to up to 5th or 4th is exponential. But at this point, you know, one of those teams as well, D+ Kia, they've been climbing that leaderboard as well. A horrendous day 1. You're looking at me confused, Max. Do you feel like they're not climbing that lead? I feel like they're having a pretty good day.
I'm just thinking about my next point right now. I always look a bit weird when I'm not on camera thinking about what I'm going to say next. But no, D+, we said it earlier on the pre-show. They won every single last game of PMGC for the last 5 days. If we do have a Miramar, if we have a second Miramar, hey, that could be a big comeback. But the win, I still feel like it's kind of hard to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that the leaderboard is currently working, we would have to see some more of those bottom teams actually outperform the top teams, make sure they eliminate them, and give them the opportunity to actually fight for it.
Given the opportunity to fight for it, APG only need a few points to cross that threshold. Are they going to be able to do it? Let's head over to Jukes and Blank to take us into our final Erangel of the day.
Last day, last Erangel.
Yes, last Erangel of the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Grand Finals. Alpha 7 in the Smash Zone. If they win this game, it is all over, folks.
And it's a very big possibility. From yesterday, they had some insane games over on Erangel. It was lovely to see. Here's our most assists, and lo and behold, it is top from APG, which makes sense because he has been assisting the team a lot more than just in the elims category. He's been keeping this team locked and loaded, ready to go towards that late game. Even on that previous Erangel where we saw him take down Eren, where it could have gone tremendously badly.
Yeah. Badly indeed. And one thing that's crazy, though, here is this playing path is going in the exact opposite direction of what we've seen so far in Erangel. So we're definitely getting a mix-up in this one. Alpha 7 are going to have their North George drop. So that is their house. They're going to be set up in this match here. Let's see if they're going to be able to use it to its full ability. The fact that this is a North George circle and, right, it's in the first zone, everybody's going to know where they're at.
I'm kind of glad, though. Alpha 7's like, well, this seems like a regular circle. Let's just go to our regular spot.
Yeah.
Okay. This feels like a win to me. I'm calling it now. This is Alpha 7 win on Erangel. They're getting it done. Up towards that north side. It's a perfect start. And this is where they just need to play how they played for the past couple of days, right? What they did yesterday was phenomenal. Nothing needed to change. But I think Smash ruling really does make final day so weird. Teams play so much slower. Teams are afraid to fight. Teams down towards the bottom are suddenly the ones that are taking all the risks. And teams towards that top side just don't want to anymore. And again, I joke when I say we need to stop listening to the coaches the day before the final day. Obviously I don't really mean that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is that small part of me that thinks that it is due to the Smash ruling, where you kind of want to switch things up. You kind of want to play a little bit slower. You just want to confirm over towards match point and then get it done from there. I don't think teams have figured it out yet, though. I really don't think they've figured it out.
There's definitely something missing, because I think you made an excellent point in the last game. Like, there's a big possibility we're going all 6 matches here, right? And if Alpha 7 in the prior matches were just playing just to reach match point and didn't capitalize on those extra points, that could have cost them the tournament. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a totally valid point here. You got to play your game, especially when you have an opportunity to put some big points on the board. You can't just kind of stop yourself, because getting a chicken dinner in this lobby is still not going to be easy.
Yeah, well, if we look at the past 2 days for Alpha 7, 115 points is where they ended, right? We're looking roughly around about 57 points a day. Today, over 3 matches, they've put up 12. Like, there's obviously something very wrong here.
Big drop-off.
There's a big drop-off. So, yeah. Again, I just don't want to see them lose now due to points, because I think it will be those first 3 games where they'd almost lost themselves in the PUBG Mobile source. Weren't able to get it done. They have a split over towards that north side, currently with Carrillo, just south of Zaki.
Dude, that song is getting spicy. I'll tell you that right now, because looking at this is another X factor here, right? Just looking at the leaderboards, it is so close. It's ridiculous. You got almost the whole entire lobby at this point are hunting down that big game. So if they are all playing towards that goal, how much does that disrupt this entire lobby? I think it does big time.
Massively. And teams are going to be searching for them, which is why they're not playing towards their usual draw spots. And you sort of understand that, because they don't want to make it obvious of where they are. I think you're overestimating it, though. I do think you're overestimating teams' wants and capabilities of finding you and hunting you down the early game. The amount of times that we've asked the silly question, like, are you going to hunt down this team? Our team goes, yeah, absolutely. They never do.
Never do.
They never do.
It's literally the most frustrating thing for me when it comes to this, is because why not? You know, you've worked your entire year to get here. Why not just put it all out on the field and make it happen? Grab your destiny instead of just kind of hoping fate decides it for you. Xavier gonna move to south of Gaia, looking for that central position. Xavier definitely been erring on the side of fate. They want that circle to come to them nice and early. They have 103 points so far. Not in a terrible position, but they're gonna have to work for it. I mean, honestly, I think that the team that plays their game aggressive is gonna be the team that win this tournament. And honestly, with what I've seen so far today, that's Alpha Gaming. You know, I think out of all the squads I've really seen at the top, Alpha Gaming seemed to be that team that just sort of like fearless. Like, we're going to push no matter what the situation is. Sometimes it didn't pay off. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah.
but they did it.
They'll lose all flaws. They'll lose or they'll win, all flaws included. And I'm okay with that. I think it's nice to have such a personality on a team. I think for Mongolian fans all around the world, they'd be super pleased to see APG as the winners there. Because although IHC was a great win for them, that was just in the early days of elims becoming more and more important for those squads. And I think a lot of teams were kind of caught off guard. Still a fantastic win there. But to do it on a main stage now, playing alongside everyone else and still bettering them, yeah, I think that would be a really big deal for Mongolia. We'll see how APG does here. DRX waiting in the wings as well. I think you mentioned this earlier, Jukes. looking to get those points on board, 105. But I do think Thunder Talk at 95 is probably the most surprising to me at the moment.
That's scary for the
Yeah.
lobby, honestly, because Thunder Talk, kind of one of
mess around.
they're literally one of those teams, right? That they'll put up nothing or they'll pull up a whole lot of something. That's for sure. And that is not a team you really want. I'm talking about for the rest of the lobby. You don't want to see them start getting hot here towards the end.
Yeah, they're accelerating as well, man.
Yeah.
They're accelerating. And I think that is one of the bigger issues, that because they are accelerating, you start to get a little bit scared at the top, because we're putting up like 5-7 points a game, whereas Thunder Talk is just looking to chunk away at the leaderboard. And it's a tough circle from them. I mean, they're one of the few teams actually still on the outside right now. You can see them here, sighting here with the hovercraft. Moving over on that western side. They're cutting in over towards the yellows on the coast.
You can see Team Flash, the new kids on the block here. 14th place, 71 points. Definitely not something to shake your head at for a first ever PMGC performance. They could definitely jump up the leaderboards, get some extra cash themselves. But hey, look at this APG taking some shots. Say, hey, get away from us. Definitely not scared to take a fight, this team.
Yeah, I love the way they break wide as well. Ooh,
Oh,
western
my
side
goodness.
circle. We got a lot of war in this bad boy. Alpha 7 would want to get a move on. They are over towards the southwest side of Everest. You can make a quick move here, but you're passing through R8. Seems like Regnum Kaya as well. Well, Regnum Kaya isn't really to be feared anymore. Dropped down to 10th.
Crazy drop. What a drop. Team Flash trying to catch some EA players on rotation here. As everybody is on the move. Team Flash being one of the furthest squads. And also Thunder Talk. Thunder Talk are going to be really late on the zone. There's Zed Wolf, though.
Oh my God, a point.
A point, baby! Regnum Kaya, they're back. Ish?
No. But for Zed Wolf, damn. First point of the day. Feels good.
Uh-oh.
But I think
Uh-oh.
for how long?
Hey, look at that rotation.
This is a real send from Regnum Kaya. I mean, a lot of teams are stopping off early, getting over towards the motels. But, yeah, Regnum Kaya wants to stay on that highway.
Uh-oh, Rebel getting knocked and thirsted by Vampire. That's Guizao down as well. And just like that, Alpha 7 down to 2 players. It looks like we got another match of the books here, Blank.
I was trying to do reverse psychology on the start of the game. Didn't work, did it?
It did not.
Yeah. I think for Alpha 7, to be honest with you, at this point, over this many years, I'd be pretty upset, honestly. But I don't think it's a case of, oh, haha, you know, always second place now. This is becoming an issue.
It is.
Where there is definitely something going on previously to that last day where the nerves take control, right? The voices start speaking in the back of their heads. They got to nip that in the bud soon.
The second guessing, more prevalent than ever. Alter Ego, though, pulling out those shotguns. Oh, EA, Turney K gets the double. They didn't even see where he was. Instant thirst from E Arena. Now, let's see if Turney K can get another one. He's got the pump shotgun, switching to that FPP. Rosemary trying to catch him with a nade, not going to be able to do so.
He's walking towards it.
That was the most uncooked nade I have ever seen.
It's raw. Raw. Shots from Flash. It tops at a distance. Turney K turns on them with the fear and the fire. We'll take them down.
Yeah, look at Team Flash getting active. I like to see this. I mean, you got 72 points. You want to make some money, you're going to need some eliminations. So if you can catch a third party, go for it. The zone deadlocked here onto this position as well. Actually, this is a little bit on the northern side, what we're seeing. So if Team Flash want to get these eliminations, they got to clear this lobby like instantly. They got to start making this push.
It's like a vampire win. There's a vampire time right now. It's a nice spot from DRX as well. Oh, my days.
Mormon getting the double nade there. That's 4 points for E Arena. And now, well, Team Flash pushed. You got to start making this move.
And Flash move in. Looking to be star stunners over towards EA inside the building. TonyK popping a pin of his own. Nate goes far. Up and foul. TonyK stops cooking the grenade twice here. He's kind of wondering about it. TonyK though, other TonyK that is.
Different K.
That's right. Regnum Kaya locks the actually finding shots over towards DX. There is a lot happening on the map right now.
Yes, there is.
Vampires though, it's a clean sweep towards the Mad Bulls.
Nothing to lose from this Vampire squad, and they are getting active. We're going to keep an eye out here on this Flash fight, as they are just so gun-shy here. They don't want to lose a single player, and I can't blame them. Meanwhile, we saw Xavier get knocked to some fall damage. That doesn't feel good. See what Tops can do. He's on top of the roof, trying to find some angles. I mean, look at this. Team Flash playing this so carefully with a 4v2 advantage. This could cost him. Yeah, TonyK, if he hits this nade, that's going to be brutal.
Nice shot.
Nice shot on the win there. Starting to even things out.
No way. This is good, damn.
No way. Let's see what TonyK can do. Oh, he gets knocked, though. And now it's just down to the last player. For E Arena, it's up to Mormon. He can make some serious plays on his own, though. Let's see, he's trying to throw those mollies. That molly was just a little bit too far out the way, and now it looks like Team Flash are going to be able to get everybody up. Full reset here. Mormon's in trouble.
Yeah, it's hella questionable. Honestly, the 1v4, it would be miraculous to happen. For E Arena, just don't see it. Flash looking to finish this one out. Again, for the Flash right now, this is very much a case of them they should just be pushing.
Yes.
It's a single guy.
Go, 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 go. What are you waiting for? And now, look at that. That is it. You got Amori R8 taking advantage of Flash, just taking so much time to finish out this fight.
Yeah, again, it's one player. You can't be dallying too long on the outside. You just got to push through, because you know that people are hearing these shots. You know someone's going to come running soon. R8 knows they've cleared out so much of that northern space, so they can just make that crossing over towards the north side.
Oh.
That next circle, it is very vampire-centric.
Oh, Vampire's really good on this one. They are rock solid in this zone. Meanwhile, you got the duo of Alpha 7. Gonna have to push through Regnum Karya. You got Ulf, D+, everybody on the edge of the circle. Yeah, Team Flash just rotating and now away, just trying to survive. Took way too long on that fight.
Thunder Talk. Rapid pass, obscures down.
Uh-oh.
Carrillo sending away. Tail between his legs. Oh my. Just about gets into the shack there. A little bit of safety, a little bit of shelter.
For how long, though? They know it's Alpha 7. Carrillo's stuck at the shack. He's got no vehicle. He's cooked in this spot.
Nades in hand, gets popped back away. I think he's just preparing for the crash here, honestly. But for
Even
Alpha
without
7,
it, yeah.
getting 8th place and upwards, it's still more points on board.
Let's see what Alpha Gaming can do, though, right? They're starting to catch up. 2 points on the board so far. They got the full squad up and going. Could be Alpha Gaming's time to shine here and finally pass up Alpha 7 and take that first place position from them. But Thunder Talk as well, full squad. Zing on a crazy off angle in the water. He's actually on a swim right here. He's going hunting on some islands here, Blink.
He is. I'm not sure what happened with Regnum Karya. Seems like Silas utilized some kind of method to whip the boys back into break.
Hey, time to put some points on the board. I told you, right? 1 elimination. They're back. Now up to 5.
Honestly, the rate that these games are going, it might just be D+ having another chance of that chicken dinner at the end of the day. It will likely be for a leaderboard placement, not the championship. Oh, whatever, we get final Miramar. Always good fun.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, those Miramars are coming up. We are definitely going into them. That's a fact. So D+, always a threat in the last game. Still in 12th place, though. They really need a big game here to make an impact for that prize pool. But Vampire, I think, very happy to just kind of keep them at bay. They can hold that spot for now. Meanwhile, we look at Alpha Gaming. There's Yol getting another knock. Alpha Gaming, especially after seeing 3 players at Alpha 7 go down, keeping all 4 up, putting some points on the board is more essential than ever.
They're getting close now. It's 6 points away for APG. 5 now with that next elimination. Sits them comfortably at 120. Ulf does go down in this game, 114. It's an unfortunate result, well, where after those first couple of strong games, honestly, Ulf starts to go downhill. And I think that Ulf has had this issue multiple days running. Flash, they get tops into position. He is the solo dolo, but is not able to make it happen. Zia's going to see if he can pick it back up, but nades are flowing over.
Oh, look at Marth. Getting some shots all the way from downtown. Flash really hurting this one. Still so early in this game, but this zone has been proven chaotic for so many teams.
Oh, that's nasty.
Dead center circle.
Yeah, up towards that northern side, really not fun ground to play on. You'll see it a little later, but it's very, very open for most of our squads. You're probably going to be seeing a lot of wide wraps down towards the south side to try and control that. R8 can play up here for a while, but it's a question of whether you want to stick around there, because eventually, unless the circle keeps shifting over towards the north side, R8 will be in a bit of a pickle.
Alpha Gaming also have that hillside there on the east. That could prove really good for them. Let's see when they decide to make this push, though. Meanwhile, yeah, ThunderTalk spending a lot of time here with Goat. I know that we had Zing, though, in the water. Let's see if he's going to finally be able to make that shot, find those off angles, and he does! So that island play working out big time for ThunderTalk. You got to keep every single player up, though. AJ is knocked, but Zing's off angle here looking so strong.
This is such a helpful angle from ThunderTalk. No points in the game just yet, but looking to find them here versus Goat, and the fight is going fairly well. It's a question of whether they can maintain position, because Xing at some point is going to have to leave off this angle. Vic goes very low. Saiting looking to hold off the other player from Goat. It's Killer Joe.
See what Saiting can do. He's got that DBS locked and loaded, trying to do a little bit of free fires. Can he get the shot, though? Killer Joe hopping in the buggy. He hears it. Now he's going to go ahead and cross this ridge line. Going to go and get those shots off. Gets a nice knock and gets the finish. ThunderTalk putting up 4 points on the board. Now it's time to start heading into that zone.
I mean, to be honest with you, for Kara as well as DRX, if ThunderTalk hears this happening, they can send on over. And this would feel like a true ThunderTalk push, right? A full through ThunderTalk crash. And it'd be a great position to hold, because VPE, they're just sticking their nose in over here. They're not doing much of anything else.
They're on the move. Xing already on the rotation, looking for that opportunity to third party this. Now, this fight does start to slow down a little bit. That does make ThunderTalk second-guess themselves for just a moment, though. Meanwhile, you see DRX Hyunbin holding this corner. Full-fledged first person with the S12K, waiting for someone to break that door's threshold. Meanwhile, Kara, yeah, just waiting. ThunderTalk not able to catch that third party in time.
APG over towards Regnum, but this is a reinvigorated RCB. The shots are good, but Regnum Karya is taking it just as good as they get.
Meanwhile, Doc on the push. Now it's all up to Loxy by himself with a lay down, and that's Alpha Gaming taking out Regnum Karya. They finally put something on the board, but only 6 points so far.
Doesn't matter though. They got the placement point. They're 125 right now. They have crossed the boundary. And APG are up for the smash next game on Miramar.
Alpha Gaming now in that smash zone, and they are looking to smash the rest of this lobby here. Job's not done yet. Next zone about to go up. That northern side completely all wide open. Zone does center up a little bit here. Kara are in this. ThunderTalk should have a nice path onto the circle.
Funnily enough, I would say this is probably an urban finish.
Yeah.
This is kind of an urban finish with the way these buildings are set up. No one really wants to play on that northwest side. It sucks. It's not enjoyable. ThunderTalk could try and play this tiny hill that sits over towards the west, but it's not going to keep them up too much longer. They also already sent Xing out earlier to create an anchor point for the rest of the team, and he just got lasered.
Yeah, instantly taken out. Carrillo's still alive in this match. He's holding that shack, but it's only going to be for a matter of time here. He's pretty much done and dusted. You can see Vampire keeping a great eye on him. So now starting to close, out into the smokes. This is just a free elimination for everybody, and I'll tell you what, Alpha Gaming will definitely take this one.
He's going to get his 1 point.
Little pre-fire there. Carrillo shimming and shaking, trying to at least get another knock, put at least one more point on the board for his squad. Alpha Gaming, the biggest threat to Alpha 7, though, at this point.
Yeah, I am surprised no one's taken too many more shots at him. Vampire, though, they've been having a great game. 7 elims right now. They are holding it down. This team is not bad. They've had a great position in the circle for quite a while, but APG send in 2 now, trying to leapfrog D+'s position. They left the player behind as a backstop. Try and find some cheeky angles on the outside, but one player falling as they approach. Doesn't feel great.
Nice couple nades into that gas station there. Reefus trying to find another angle here. That might be good. Oh, does a little bit of damage. The Molotovs, though, from Doc, paying off big time. I know Maxman's happy about that one. Let's see, Reefus. Can he get the finish, though? Oh, my gosh, what a nade from Vampire.
Yo,
that came out of nowhere. Reefus is like, oh, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Lazarus does get taken down by Thunder Talk, though. That's a chance. That's an opening for him.
Yes.
But they need to send somewhere, right? They got to send somewhere at some point.
Got to pull the trigger. You got to make the move. I mean, look at this, Carrillo. Snake in the grass. Oh, getting shot now. In some serious trouble. Just trying to see if he can steal another elimination, but Kara ends Alpha 7 there. And now Alpha Gaming looking to pass them up and take that first place position.
They can do it. They could easily do it on this game. Getting past 128 is not that hard right now. And it's almost as if Alpha 7 wants to keep the legend true, right? They just cannot win PMGC, no matter how good they are in the first 2 days. Their third day is just shocking.
Alpha 7 trying to get that belt. If they win this one, they will have won almost every big major event, minus PMGO. But they got to still get it done here, and Alpha Gaming are looking to take it away from them by playing their own game, right? Just playing aggressive, playing together as a squad, and making it happen here.
Maybe Thunder Talk don't need to send anywhere. You also have the loot crate towards the center, which could create an operation zone for the team. You're carried down towards that south side, need to move up. They got to get past DRX. Are we going to get a back-to-back Thunder Talk game here?
That is insane. I mean, with that zone right there, it's looking pretty good. Because all these teams on the edge are going to have to fight each other at this point. You can just see Vampire holding it off in a full urban finish with so much open real estate. Meanwhile, Prestige trying to throw some nades in there. I think Thunder Talk are just going to be able to clear everybody out.
I think the most scary thing for a lot of these squads, though, is the fact that we're getting a lot of teams close to the match point, which is 125, which isn't a huge ask for a lot of teams, right? Vampire, 9 elims, looking to hold out these final players.
Uh-oh.
R8 with the P90.
Tony K making it happen there with that shotgun. The crowd's going wild. Hops out the window. Has the angles and gets the finish. That's 11 eliminations for Vampire.
You might have had the P90, but Vampire is dishing out lefties and righties here at the PMGC.
Oh.
Shots are going through. Fabian trying to find the player, but it's a nasty shot from up on high, and that forces Vampire even further up in eliminations.
That keeps Alpha Gaming alive, too. They were almost done and dusted there, but now Vampire on the push. Nice little return knocks from both parties there. Meanwhile, Vampire looking to get their chicken dinner here in their hometown, Bangkok, Thailand. Let's see what they can do here as Doc, all by his lonesome, gets shot there from Kara, and that's Alpha Gaming out.
Yeah, you don't expect that angle. You absolutely do not expect that angle. Hyunbin waiting on the inside with a big stick of dynamite to throw at Marceau when he chooses to leave. Thunder Talk did lose one player on a knock, but that was res back up again. Next circle is going to be the big one, right?
Dude, Thunder Talk. Look at their position here.
It's so good. I think that the really big thing from right now is there's a lot of angles looking their way. And a lot of angles that don't really see each other on that side of the map. So I think for Thunder Talk, as much as they want to get more points out of this game, they got to be a little bit patient here.
I agree. Take your time. Don't rush into things. Don't just try to over-peak that hill, get knocked, and open the door for teams to push up on you. If you just take your time, this should be an easy chicken dinner. Gotta watch out for Vampire, though. Vampire on fire here. They've got nothing to lose at this point. And you can see Kara trying to push out in here. Hyunbin all by himself for DRX. What can he do?
It's a big tag of damage off over towards the CEO. Will swing back around this side, but Kara is having none of it. And CEO, who had such an impact over in their league stage, is able to put the final shot in towards him. Like I said, I think Thunder Talk might want to stop peeking for now and wait for this next circle to close a little bit. I think, honestly, well, as Vampire are likely going to start taking shots at one another once this circle fully pushes them out. Thunder Talk don't need to take these shots right now. They need to wait for these high ground angles to disappear.
Let the zone do the work for you. Let that be your fourth man. Hoser getting shot up, but to survive a little bit longer. AJ peeked it, and that opened the door for Vampire. In the vehicles they go. Oh, that shot,
They're
though.
sending it.
Yeah,
they are sending it.
Tony K getting stiffed arm. Knock Kings down. One player up for Thunder Talk. Oh, he did do it again, the rest. But now Vampire on the push. Up close and personal. The nades about to ring out. Thunder Talk are in huge trouble. Here comes Kara. And now back up against the wall. The zone, they do end up getting the knock. Sighting.
Where is Kara?
And now, oh, Thunder Talk down. Kara just waiting in the back line.
Kara's just not pushing. There is a backline angle, though. AJ will find one on the backside there. Now just leaves Red Bull. AJ so low on HP, and a random tag will take him down. It's a 4 versus 1.
Kara being so patient here, making sure they get this victory. Nice shot there from Red Bull. And just lets the blue zone take them out. Vampire putting up some serious points, but it's Kara who get the win.
I think the main thing, that game was very, very fun, but I got to put it into perspective really quick, is that because we are having so many teams close towards the top side of the lobby, 125 points, there's a big chance we get over towards Miramar. Points really don't matter because so many of our big teams will be over 125.
That's right.
And you get a smash win in the last game, still a smash win. If you are third place, you still get first at the end of it.
That's right. That's right. Can you imagine being in third place, getting the chicken dinner, and you're an automatic champion? We could see it right here in the first Miramar. Unbelievable.
But a massive game for Vampire regardless, which now basically puts everyone on equal footing, I suppose, towards the end of it. But another nice game from Thunder Talk 2, but it was Kara to find the last laugh.
And with that, we say goodbye to Erangel right here at the 2025 PMGC. Just 2 maps remain, and guess what? This is the talk of the town because we've seen some of the bottom tier teams starting to make their way up. But Regnum Carrier have entered the chat, 7.
Regnum Carrier finally waking up, getting some eliminations under their belt, getting some points. It only took them 4 matches to start getting some points. But I want to talk about something that you were actually mentioning earlier, Barney, and that is just pretty much the leaderboard flipping upside down in regards to teams that are going to be performing. This final 2 squads, Vampire and Kara, they came into this match in 15 and 16th place, and boy were they taking a lot of points for those squads looking to get into the match zone.
I'm very happy about how it went, right? But APG are in the Smash Zone!
Yeah!
It made it happen! They join Alpha 7, they're up there, they can try and claim the trophy right here, possibly. Sorry, I got really hyper there, but like, it is such a big, big point here that was secured by Alpha Gaming. Can they go the entire way going into Miramar? We'll have to wait and see, but though, looking at Kara, really big step up. Marso, very low damage actually in terms of those 6 eliminations. I like the play actually from Kara where they had this split across this game-winning compound and also the lighthouse southwest of the circle. They get pushed on by Thunder Talk, like this is not worth it, let's push back take the compound, and that gets them easily in the late game as a full squad.
We talk about the lower tier teams taking chances and getting aggressive because they got nothing to lose. But in that instance, Kara actually showed a really, really strong sense of patience. They actually waited it out until the zone really shifted them out. And they managed to catch a few of the Vampire Esports boys as they tried to make that late hit, right?
Yeah, you could see Vampire Esports was really debating making that push towards Thunder Talk. They got that first knock on Thunder Talk, and they got really close to the vehicles, and they knew that as soon as they started pushing out, it was just a clear line of sight from Kara to be able to knock them. Guess what? They push out with the one player, that one gets knocked, and then they follow it up. And then Kara, honestly, reacted so perfect to that, Max, because that squad, as soon as they saw those players got away from Vampire, they closed the gap, and they were there to make sure they were ready for the third party.
I do think it was poorly executed by Vampire, and Kara saw that mistake, and they just capitalized on that opportunity to get the win. So very happy about it. And the reason why, I know you're looking at me a bit weird there, Seven, is like in terms of the mistake. Tony K sent it to Thunder Talk, which I think was the right play, but he went on such a straight line, which was very close to Kara, and they got that knock so easily. If you go wide to the northern western side, you're a little bit safer from those long to mid-range shots. Maybe you survive as a full team, claim the high ground, maybe win it. It's a small detail, but again, it's up to Kara that they like, what is that play?
Yep.
Get the knock on Tony K, third party it, make sure you secure that chicken dinner.
And with how many fights, too, we saw Vampire Esports win in that compound, I was really hoping we would see a little bit more utility from that squad. Maybe set it up even better, set some smokes. Yesterday, we were seeing players and teams set up smokes as just as a decoy to distract them a little bit. I think they could have done that with Kara, but to be fair, honestly, 15 eliminations for Vampire Esports, they're going to be happy.
Spicy from them. Speaking of utility, a team that maybe are taking quite a lot of chances, but also setting themselves up effectively, but a little bit unusually. Thunder Talk managing to get over towards that lighthouse and setting up Jing on the outskirts in the water on that rock. It was really impressive, really well to set up like that. But also, like I said, speaking of utility, managed to get them to save that utility, right, Max, for late game.
Exactly. You always want to try and hold on to your utility as late in the game as possible. Looking actually at the rotation path, you can see that lighthouse push you just mentioned here, Barney. And actually, they scare away Kara. I wouldn't say they scared away Kara, actually. I'm going to take that back. It's just Kara playing it very smart to, again, get into the late game safely as a full team. And using that ridge, Thunder Talk, knowing the terrain, like, well, that's the only high ground position. We're going to leverage that to our advantage as much as humanly possible in that game. And they get very fine that match off the back of that. So Thunder Talk, day 3, waking up. They got a win on a wrangle here. They get another good podium finish. China is back, it seems.
I mean, they got a big crowd currently cheering them on. Hopefully they can continue it because, I mean, that smash zone, it's set. It's not going to be moving. They just have to make sure they reach it. They have 2 more games to reach it. Hopefully, I mean, they're gonna have to reach it this next game if they even want to try to get a chance to do it. One team, though, that was able to clutch up some points right there in the match ranking was none other than DRX. I'm really looking forward to see how much DRX ended up moving up in the leaderboard, and it came down to your boy, Max.
Well, yeah, but he didn't win it, right?
Hey, it's still points.
It will take every point we can get for DRX. But yeah, it was a bit of a Hail Mary send in the center position, and very similar to what we saw from Alter Ego in day 2. On those rotations, they lose players, and when you just don't have the full squad to control a central compound, like on a beach position, like in this match, well, unfortunately, things aren't going to quite go your way. They're going on the second page, Alter Ego, another 1 point. I would like to see Alva back on the point on this team. I said it many times, and right now it seems like the synergy's just not quite there.
Yeah, and even going back on that one, on that second page, Alpha 7, once again, just being able to clutch up 1 point. We saw them lose players very early on. 2 players once again. They didn't want to play edge at all, which I'm really surprised because this team historically is able to play that edge. But in this one, they try to go a little bit too far, a little bit too much there. But the overall, it's right here, and we have 2 teams in that smash zone.
Yeah, as it stands, Alpha 7 and Alpha Gaming both sitting up there, first and second place. Ulf again putting up numbers to manage to secure that spot in third. DRX, it seems like the storyline with them is consistency. I mean, every time, just putting points on the board, nothing flashy, just keep chunking away, like Blank likes to say.
Yeah, he's just chunking away right now, going at it. And actually, DRX, very funnily so, are a 4th place team in the power rankings. So it's very fitting at PMGC. They're currently standing in 4th position. But it's a tie. Alpha 7 and APG, 128 points each, but 7, the disparity of placement points despite getting 2 wins. 58 placement points, almost double from APG, is a ludicrous disparity between these two squads.
It really is, and you can see APG with those MVPs currently putting up those performances. When it comes down to eliminations, that squad is just 2 points away, 2 eliminations away from getting 100 elims. I'm going to be looking, honestly, at some of the other squads, Max, because we got to start posing the question for DRX, for the rest of those squads, is you kind of have to go for broke here in this Miramar match. If you want to make it to the Smash Zone, you got to put the faith into your own hands if you want to make it and get a chance to win on that final match.
Why is that? 11 points needed for Ulf, 13 points needed for DRX, which is doable in a Miramar, but as we say, there's only X amount of points in the game you can really get, so can the two teams make it together? Is only one going to make it? Well, all the points going to keep, well, as you said, Barney, keep going at the bottom teams as they continue their ascent at the top. It could be happening. The Red Bull for Vampire, those shots with his AR were mental. The fact he was so accurate was really interesting to see.
One thing I've got to think about as well, when it comes down to these top 2 teams, Alpha 7 and Alpha Gaming, we've got to think about the mentality of these 2 teams going into this. Alpha 7 and APG, both 2 teams who are extremely experienced here on the main stage. They have that mentality, but out of those 2 teams, which of the ones buckles under the pressure a little bit more in those day 3 circumstances? If you're just looking at us now, my name's Barney. We got 7, we got Max here as well. Hello, everyone. I'm saying APG are looking more dangerous right now. That's what I'm saying.
They definitely are. The crazy thing is that these 2 teams can also choke. We saw PMWC, APG. I got to refresh the memory. We saw APG choking when it came down to the final day of PMWC. I don't think that's the case right now. If they have to pick one, I would say it seems like Alpha 7 is choking.
But they have Zyol. He's won PMGC before. He knows what they have to do if they want to try and win at the end. I think that they're going to be looking good at APG, and Alpha 7 looking a bit shaky here on day 3.
When APG have nothing to lose, they can go for broke, and you know that they can put out outrageous numbers on the board. When they are in a situation like this and placement matters and they start panicking, Doc starts overextending, it starts to get a little bit dicey. So you have all these different players with almost different mentalities. Zyol having been here before, top 6, super experienced, but gets nervous under the pressure. So it really just comes down, I think, to a confidence level in each other and to just play your own game. APG, go for it. Get a 30-point game and get a chicken dinner right now.
The thing is that they can probably do it. They have that fragging power. I think that's going to be the big deciding factor in this next one. If Alpha 7, for some reason, I think now at this point, it is a bit of a relief that they have another team being in this Smash Zone because they're not the only ones that are going to be targeted. For APG, how are you going to be reacting? Are you going to be going with your usual setup? Remember, even throwing it back all the way to Gauntlet, that team was not wanting to back up from any hot drops. They were sticking to their guns. And honestly, if I expect the team to be in first place after this match, it's looking like APG will do that.
I would have to agree. I mean, APG, what I would love to see is for them to avoid any early to mid-game confrontation. Keep all of your resources, keep all your players alive going into the late game. Just like, for example, you guys who watched PMFL America's Finals, Wolves playing so passive in the early stage and actually keeping all of their resources into the late stage, get a very low elimination win. But when you're in the Smash Zone, a win is a win, regardless of how many eliminations you really get. So I want APG to just, if you have a fight that they would typically take, just avoid it, make it into the late stage.
Something we got to keep into consideration right now. I'm kind of looking at what Revo and Gizao is currently doing. There you go. You can kind of see them on the side of Max. Yeah.
Right there.
It's good vibes. They're currently not getting into their head. They're currently just trying to get the perfect that was up back to back too. Back to back ups. But stuff like that, it goes to show in the past, we've seen Revo just completely shut down, completely just not be present in that moment. And right now, Alpha 7 is not showing us that, and I'm happy to see that. And when you look on the opposite side, when you look at the APG players, they're focused, they're locked in. I mean, we saw them yesterday with their coach late at night on the lobby of the hotel, just going through plays, going through everything, making sure they got everything ready here for the final day.
But the intricacies do matter, but at the end of the day, it's these teams now that are in 3rd all the way down to 6th who are trying to get into that Smash Zone. Maybe they don't want to overextend too much and then put themselves under any additional pressure that's not needed. However, they have to get these crucial points if they're going to catch up. So it's like, do you decide to crash down on Alpha 7 and APG, or do you kind of let the people who are lower on the leaderboard do that? These are the small micro decisions you got to make, though, right?
But I would recommend actually do not hot drop one of the 2 teams in the Smash Zone. The reason why I'm saying that, you might get one, you also hinder your chances of making the Smash Zone itself, but you can't hot drop 2 teams at once. You need to hope another team would do that for yourself, and you give them an opportunity to create a big lead and maybe get themselves the smash right here at PMGC. So hot chops, I wouldn't recommend it. It would be super cool to see.
That's what I was saying. I mean, APG, absolutely zero smiles. I don't think I've ever seen Doc actually smile before in his life.
Yes.
Maybe if they end up winning, he will end up smiling. But for this squad, it just locked in. There you go. Now you got Alpha 7 as well, locked in as well. For everybody currently watching at home, let us know in the comments, after this match, who do you think is going to end up in first place? Because I'm most intrigued to see which other teams might end up joining Alpha 7 and Alpha Gaming for the Smash Zone. Ulf is so close. 11 points max. I honestly think that's doable. And for DRX, just 13 points away, I think that's doable as well. We could have, going into the last match, 4 teams in the Smash Zone.
I mean, we saw DRX, they wanted to hot drop in Komeshki Alpha 7 on Erangel. They know where they drop. It's El Pozo. There could be a bit of action in that city this time around. And if it does go down, DRX, again, 13 points. As you said here, 7, maybe we'll get 3 teams in the Smash Zone after this match.
Quickly pick a team.